Lower.
Look at that. So you guys didn't remind. Hey, everybody, guess what? You didn't miss anything because we're just bullshitting right now because I'm tweaking the images. But hey, welcome to Tales of a Savage Land. Thank you for showing up this fine and fabulous evening. And these fine gentlemen are going to entertain you while I tweak these images just a sec.
I got a quick one.
Uh-huh.
Go for it.
So, on my website, where on the YouTube, for mature audiences. Oh, click start watching. Yes. So there we go.
Hell yeah, man.
Anyway, so hang on, I've got to get back to the screen. So on my YouTube channel, I don't just have the videos that I've been posting recently. I've got videos that I've had up there for a while.
You have other stuff too?
I have other stuff, but the other stuff isn't really very popular. In fact, like one of the videos has like 10 views. It was just placeholder material. So I went out and did some anecdotes. Just told a couple of quick stories so that I could put them up, and if people came to my website or found the YouTube page, they'd have something to watch. Okay, that was a long time ago. Now I've got these videos that have 10,000 views, and I went and I told my mother about
10,000?
Yeah, I got 10,000 views.
Shut the front door. Okay, never mind. Keep going.
Thank you.
Golf clap, everyone. Golf clap.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I've been congratulating him all week.
So I sent my mother the link and said, "Here, check these out. They've got a lot of views. I'm taking off." And it's the whole Catholic and the Jew thing, and she's very, very Catholic, and I thought she'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
I get a text message back.
You are no longer my son?
No, she's I don't even know if she's watched those videos.
Oh, she's watching the other ones.
She's watching the other videos.
Well, of course.
And the other videos are Uncle Tony's anecdotes.
Yeah.
That's how they're called. They're called Uncle Tony's anecdotes.
Well, you know what it is. Okay, I know what it is. Okay, so in these videos, is it just you in the anecdotes?
It's just me.
That's why. He's like, oh, and this one, it's just my pretty little boy. So I'm gonna watch these ones as opposed to watching the other ones with other people. That's what it is, dude.
She sends me a text message a little while later, saying that she really liked the anecdotes and wonders if there's more. The antidotes.
Yeah.
So
Subliminal?
I replied to her, assuming that her phone has auto-corrected something.
Probably.
And say, no,
probably.
Those were the least popular videos, so I'm not going to do any more of those. However, if your phone did not autocorrect and you actually need an antidote for something, you've texted the wrong person.
Oh, that makes complete sense. Absolutely complete sense.
Haven't heard from her since.
Get nice by Ma.
Yeah, see, you just alienated a viewer. I'm just gonna throw that out there, mother or not.
Is it Frank? Frank, did we alienate you?
No, Frank's right there. We're talking about his mom from his channel. Okay, I've got it.
We're talking about your mom.
I've got everything switched up and ready to go now. So we'll roll through it again like the professionals that we are. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tales of a Savage Land. I am your illustrious game master for the evening, Will DM, and like I said, we are down one. What's Ari's character's last name? Does anybody know? I don't want to have to look it up.
Nope, I don't think she has one.
See, this is why she's so mean to you guys. You haven't even bothered to find out what her last name is.
I think he's right. I don't think she has one.
Ari Shade? Is it Shade?
You
Ari
got
Shade?
it. Ari Shade. There it is. Nice, good man.
Really?
Because I remembered
I thought
it
she was like Cher.
right before you mentioned it. I remembered it. Yeah. So, anyway. We will go ahead and introduce the cast that we do here. Man, it's going to be one of these nights. I can already tell. We're gonna go ahead and introduce the cast that we do have here this evening. Wow. And Phoenix, save me. Go ahead, do something. Say something.
All right, I'm Dylan Trahan, Villain Trahan here on Twitch. Just plain old me everywhere else. I am playing Phoenix, and I have a YouTube channel if you want to go check it out. You can probably search it, but I don't have one of those fancy URLs that Uncle Tony has.
You need 100 people for that.
Yeah, but if you search Dylan Trahan, it's either me or a kid who plays college baseball. So I don't play baseball. You figure it out.
That's kind of cool, though. All right, cool, excellent. So, Brian, Jonathan, go ahead.
Hello, my name's Jonathan, and I play Brian. And I use a spear, and I have armor, and I like friends and friendship, and doing the right thing.
And breaking young girls' hearts.
What?
I think I said it pretty clearly. And breaking young girls' hearts.
I don't think I broke anyone's heart. You know,
I don't know, guys.
I think it wasn't anything like that at all. What are you talking about?
Now, we're not talking about Jonathan. We're talking about Brian, the character, okay? So, because Jonathan is way too nice and polite of a gentleman to ever break any girl's heart. So, yeah. There you go.
So yeah, that's my character.
Yeah, there it is. And I'm just waiting for Melenre to pop in so that we can ask her some real dirt.
No, we don't need to.
We don't need to do that. Okay, all right.
We don't need to.
Oh, there she is, right there. Hi, Melenre.
You don't need to do anything. I think it's Joplin's turn right now.
Yeah, it is. Hey, Joplin, go ahead, man. Tell everybody.
Hey, everybody. I'm Uncle Tony, Stupid Tony on Twitter, and I'm playing Joplin Mayfair. He used to be a charlatan magician. Now he's a real one.
Is he really a magician, though? I don't think he's a magician.
He's something.
He's something, but it's definitely not a magician. I mean, you're a man of a god now. You've come in contact with a deity of extra, well, I wouldn't say extraplanar, but extraordinary powers and abilities. For sure. So, there it is. Uh-huh. No, go ahead. Good.
No, that's it.
All right, that's fine. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to do a quick recap. So each and every one of these fine individuals, including Ari and an NPC by the name of Rylan, who ended up dying early on in the series, they all received mysterious letters to come and join an organization called the Arcanus. And to join, they had to complete these 3 tests. The Arcanus is a big mythical organization that deals with magic and all these sort of different things. And so they went through, they've completed all 3 of their tasks, which all seemed mundane. But when they got into doing the tasks, there were other things about them, other complications that made them quite extraordinary. While completing these 3 tasks, they've seemed to have made an enemy, we will say, a big enemy in a band of pirates called the Azure Brotherhood. Now, the Arcanus is located on a large island called Zada Island in the Mavi Sea, and it's the largest city within this in this fantasy world. Also, during their escapades, they've come in contact with a race of beings, extra-dimensional race of beings called the Celestials, which for some reason it seems like they're trying to come back into the world, because at one time they actually ruled this world and enslaved it, thousands and thousands of years ago, back in history gone. And so they've come back. They've been able to gain entry into the Arcanus. They are now full-fledged members, novices, first tier. But they were also told something that is really important to the story, and I think you guys all understand it, how important it was. When the Grand Masters of the Arcanus that met with you upon your indoctrination had told you, there it is. Thank you, Tony. That's the square for your pocket, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
The shirt doesn't have a thing.
Yeah, but you have the ascot on. That's all that matters. But anyway,
was asking
to finish the recap. So, in meeting the Grandmasters, they were told that one of the big reasons that they received, so what is, at the time it seemed like random, but one of the reasons that these individuals had received an invitation was because they have a supernatural connection to a thing called the Weave. And the Weave is essentially the magical fabric of the world that binds everything together. to steal something sort of like the Force from something or another, but not quite. It's more of a magical thing. It's not necessarily created by Life Force, although Life Force does have something to do with it as well, but the universe as a whole. And they have connections to this, some a little bit more potent than others. And that's one of the reasons they were chosen and brought into, given opportunity to come into the Arcanus, and they have all succeeded, and now they are all members. In the last episode, they had made it back. They had become members, and they were given their first task as official members, and that new task was what? Do you gentlemen remember?
You track
Not
down.
kill. Track. Yeah, track.
Track. Find something.
A fella by the name of Azael.
Azale.
Yes,
Azael.
Right.
and Azael is early on in when they were doing these tests to see if they could gain entry. They were trying to find somebody to deliver a letter, and this person was messed up with the Azure Brotherhood, which this is how they were introduced to them. But in going to this lady, Sindra Agrita's apartment, it was guarded by probably the biggest human that they had ever seen in their lives. Nearly 8 foot tall, just like a gorilla without the hair is basically what this guy was sort of like. They beat him up, and after they beat him up, something really, really mysterious happened. What happened there, Phoenix, when after this guy was beaten up?
A more handsome and less gorilla-y man popped out from inside of him, but covered in all the purple sludge and pus that had come out of this beat up old pirate.
Yeah, so like this other guy kind of like his body boiled, and out through the goo stepped a smaller guy because he could fit inside of him. And that guy's name was Azael. And they found out, well, there's some theories going on. Some of you, like most of you guys, think he's a Celestian because he has all the bells and whistles. He's got wings, he's extremely good looking. But at the same time, now you've got Ari, who was doing research, was telling you, hey, this guy's not a Celestian. So you've got that going on. But that is the first official mission for you guys. Is they want you to track him down, find out where he is, and then let the Citadel, let the Arcanus know, and then they're going to deal with him. So I think where did we leave off? Were you guys all at the bakery, or did you guys had leave from Brian's family's bakery at that time?
I ran away to do something else, but.
So I guess what I'm trying to ask is, where are you guys going to all meet up so it makes it easier on me, your good old GM?
I would have headed back to the Arcanus, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we all decided we would meet back there.
I still need to find a bookstore.
I will say definitely. I mean, you're in Lycena. This is the largest city in the world. There are bookstores here, and you can definitely, in your traveling back from the Long Shelf Bakery to the Arcanus, you will come across a library. Well, not a library, but a bookstore.
Bookstore. I want the tales of anti-heroes, the Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, the Robin Hoods.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, they actually told you that there's a book called The Tales of Alan Markin and His Fabulous 40 Knights.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I've been looking for that one.
You got it. You found it.
Excellent.
Yes.
There also a children's book about finance and money?
Sure, why not? I mean, it's more of a counting book and learning how to count.
That's good too. That's yes.
Yeah.
Just anything that puts money in its proper perspective at a very basic level. I want to get that for Phoenix.
Yeah, you're such a giver, man. Sure, I'll allow you to, without a doubt. You can buy those books. Those books will cost you a copper a piece.
Ooh, snaps. That's actually pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I mean,
not reasonable, very cheap actually.
It's not so cheap. It's cheap in the fact that you're in Lycena, and Lycena is the heart, so things are a lot easier to come by here. But don't forget, the technology level of this world that you guys are in is Renaissance level. So there are books and things like that. They're still expensive, but there's books, there's glass, there's running water, there's a number of different things. And depending on where you go, where if you ever go to like a real civilized city, it's going to have all these bells and whistles to it, Okay. So you get your books and you go back to the Arcanus then?
Yes, my sister has the apartment. I gave her the keys and whatever else she needs to take that over.
Yes, she took it, stuck it into her apron, and quickly went back to work, sniffling a little, almost as maybe
it's pretty cold around here. It's the weather.
Maybe she's coming down with something.
The pollen.
Probably not this trip, but maybe sometime in the future when I have some more time to explore the city, I might try to find her an acrobatics gig. A circus or a performance.
And there is the circus and the what's a good name for it? I was gonna say hippodrome, but that smacks way too much of Rome.
I kind of like it.
The Lycina Hippodrome and Circus, which is it's a year-round thing. It's a year-round because like I said, Lycina does have a gladiatorial arena as well. Yeah,
no, I don't want her to work there.
No, but she, being an acrobat and what have you, she could definitely possibly get a job at the circus, especially.
She doesn't need to be a rodeo clown. I want her to do, some proper acrobatics work.
Like a Cirque du Soleil in Vegas.
And I have to answer, Frank Creed put in a question. Are there any showers here? And yes, there are showers in the city. Showers will definitely be a little bit more on the higher level of affluency. Most people still take baths. And matter of fact, there are public baths here as well. So, but yes, Frank, they do have showers. So, all right. So, where are you guys hanging out at the Arcanus? First of all, Brian and Phoenix, because I'm going to say that both of you guys went back together, and Joplin kind of got sidetracked. Well, no, wait, because Phoenix came back and then just met Brian there.
I likely would have went back by the bakery to see if they were still there on my way back to the Arcanus. So makes sense if we'd show up around the same time or together.
Okay.
Well, actually, you ran off to speak to your mentor to hire some peoples. I think during that time we went back, so I imagine we'd probably be there waiting for you, hoping you'd show up.
No. Yeah. So I would head straight back there though. That didn't take too long. So.
Gotcha.
So.
Yes. So basically, and we've gotten some questions. Mullane Ray, Ari is actually going up to the great state. I think it's this week. Maybe it's next week. She's going up to Idaho.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's pretty okay.
I wish we had known.
Idaho is beautiful country, though. It is beautiful country up there, for sure.
I know nothing about that place.
Me either.
Yeah, I've read a book or two. There's a movie. It's called My Own Private Idaho.
Oh, it's Keanu.
Yeah.
Keanu.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. That's where Ari's at. So she will.
Well, I mean, is she asking about Grace or asking about Ari?
Well, she said, "Where's Ari?" So
Ari is with me.
Ari
right
and
now.
Grace are kind of like inseparable.
Like in the story, where is she? I think is she at the Arcanus?
If you mean in the story, Ari has gone back to do more research.
Okay.
She's going to take full advantage, and don't forget, I mean, she's got that research skill, so she's like, right on with that sort of thing, and she's going to start doing some research. And in a matter of fact, this is what we're going to do. So basically, we're going to pick up. We've got Phoenix, we got Brian. You guys are in that big lounge area that's outside of your apartments where they generally have the servant that's there just kind of like standing next to a pillar, sitting in a chair next to a pillar in case anybody needs anything. And that's where we will enter. Joplin will come in. But one of the things after you do what you're going to do here, it will be a matter of figuring out what you want Ari to research.
Okay.
Because you guys are going to have to figure out what you're going to do. All right? It's like now it's, before you guys had plenty of direction. You had these 3 tests that you had to do. And so you've got stuff, what are you going to do now? Because you've got this, you've got something that you have to do now. You've got an assignment. You got to find this Azael guy, and you got to figure out how you're going to do it. So I will leave that up to you. And then those suggestions will be handed over to Ari when she gets back, and we'll see if she decides to take any of your suggestions into consideration when she's actually doing the research. So, okay, you guys are there. Enter Joplin. Go.
We're kind of, I don't know, there's a couple things we need to deal with here. We're clearly having a pirate problem. It's a hard word to say. We're having a pirate problem, and we need to
Not
find
just me tonight. Just going to point that out.
Yeah. Any suggestions on how we deal with either of those problems?
Well, the pirate problem is more straightforward. They're angry at us because, understandably, they think we're killing their men, which is very interesting. They haven't tried to fight us outright. They know where our family is. They know where Joplin is. Joplin here at the moment?
Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah, Joplin just walked in. He's got a brown bag with him as you guys are talking. And he come, oh, hey, what are you guys talking about? Go ahead.
Well, they know my family. They know your family. And Ari just doesn't have family, so lucky and unlucky for her. I don't know what we should do. I don't know if we should wait for them to make their first move, or if we should just be a little proactive. Proactive is always the best thing, I think. But other than that, to find Azael, that Celestine that burst out of that man, I don't know where to begin.
Well, if Azael does work for who's Ari's guy?
That guy with that's part of the thing with thing.
Quick, everybody, check your notes.
Zaffrish.
Mm-hmm. See, now, from what Ari told us, Azael was sort of a soldier of Zaffrish. Or something like that. They worked together in some capacity. My thought to her was, just ask him.
How's she going to ask him?
I believe she's communicating with her God. I'm communicating with mine on occasion.
I'm sorry. Phoenix, did you know about this? Am I the only one who suddenly is hearing that she's talking to Celestine?
I mean, she breathed some sort of gunk into her ear. I guess it makes sense that and created some sort of bond. I didn't get that.
Have you seen her when she's alone?
No. Joplin, I don't watch her when she's alone.
I'm just saying.
That'd be kind of creepy. Sorry.
You mean when she thinks we aren't looking? You don't mean literally when she's alone, right?
Yeah, what you said.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm not as astute.
If she can commune with her patron, then perhaps he could give her a path. Other than that, my thought is this. This is probably a repeat of the last time these gods walked our plane of existence. So if he was working for Zaffrish at the time, he had a task. If we can find out what it was thousands of years ago, most likely he's at it again.
That sounds
that's research.
Really reasonable.
That's
I think Ari's at the library right now. We should talk to her about it.
Is there someone is there an attendant around in the lounge?
Yeah, it's
unless you already swung by.
No.
I was going to say,
Mona's not on duty right now. Okay, so it's another attendant. It's a 14.
Lisa.
It's a 14-year-old boy this time. So if anybody in chat wants to throw out a name, we'll pick up a name. Anybody who's not in the cast who wants to throw out a name.
You caught me before I could do it.
I saw your hands like creeping over towards the keyboard there, my man.
My favorite thing to do.
It is. Well, I you can still do it. I mean, sure, why not?
All right. Well, the chat is coming up with a name. I will walk over to Brian.
Nezzy is the
I
guy.
like that. Nezzy.
No,
Nezzy is the man's name. I'm writing that down as we speak here, Mr.
I was
Freed.
gonna say Tommy Longschmackel, but I'm really anyone. My old sketch troupe knows very well that if you ask me to make up a name, it never sounds like a real human name. It's just.
And this is
string
why
of
I know
syllables.
it's him, everybody.
Yeah. Also, it does come right after my name every time.
I don't know.
Joplin wants to grab Brian and offer him the book of anti-heroes that he found at the bookstore. It was
I don't think
called
you should call it the Book of Anti-Heroes, though.
What was the name that you had?
Okay,
I didn't write
the title of the book is Alan Markin and His Fabulous 40 Knights.
Alan Markin and His Fabulous 40 Knights.
That's right.
Brian, enjoy this book. Learn the different perspectives, because even the criminals.
I heard Alan Markin was trained by Second Schmitty.
You're really gonna try, aren't you? He's gonna push hard.
I'm thinking, is it a tome or is it like a magazine?
It's a big book.
Or-
It's a big
Oh.
book.
Does it have like that golden edging on the pages?
Yes,
or
it
is it
does.
like a
No, it's
fifth
For a
edition?
copper,
Yes.
it better.
Yeah,
For copper?
yeah.
Dude, copper is like okay. Anyways, wow, it's been a while since I actually had a fresh book. Thank you.
Yeah.
You are very welcome.
What's it about?
Phoenix,
And you've heard of this book before.
Mhm.
Now, the reason you haven't really read it before is because, well, Alan Markin is a notorious world traveler, is what he is. And he's known as kind of like a Han Solo, so to speak. He's kind of a shady guy. And so you always assumed that his Fabulous 40 Nights was, well, about stuff you do at night when you're out and about and carousing and what have you.
Joplin, I always thought the 40 knights were like 40 soldiers, but I guess it's 40 nocturnal activity. Okay, thank you. Put it there.
And
We will enjoy.
there are some nocturnal activities in the stories. For
I don't know.
Nocturnal missions. Not nocturnal missions, nocturnal missions.
Right. So I'm just saying.
and Phoenix, for you, I have a small book called Copper, Coins, and You.
Oh,
No, it's got to have something like 1 copper, 2 copper, half copper, quarter copper.
So that's what the chat recommended, copper and you.
Copper and you. All right, well,
I
we'll go
love
with
that,
that. We'll
too.
go with you. We're going to go
Coins,
with copper and you. Coins, copper
And,
and you.
and I understand if you have trouble with the pronouncing
lot
of the
of-
words.
There's a lot
I'll
of
find
pictures.
time to read it too.
There's lots of pictures.
yeah,
It shows the
Thanks.
the
I'll
proper
put it on
way
my,
to
nightstand.
yeah. It shows the proper way to break or cut your coins. Because remember, all coppers can be quartered. Because most rudimentary things don't cost a full copper.
Yes,
Like-
I'm hoping that value is one of the things it teaches. The man who has thrown away half of his 5 gold coins.
Technically, also, it's a mechanic that I have to obey.
I know, but I'm working with you.
Well, I mean,
It
do we
offends-
know he got rid of his money? I don't think we know that, right?
Well,
They
it's
know
what
I
it-
got.
this is
He
exactly,
said something about only having 2 left
Well-
a day after he had 5.
and this is exactly what this is a textbook. If anybody out there is interested in playing the Savage Worlds game, which we are playing, and we're trying to learn the newest rule set, the Suede rules, you have advantages and you have disadvantages. Now, while these things are great, especially like not advantages, they have edges and they have
hindrances.
Hindrances. Sorry. See, I told you we're trying to learn it. So they have the edges and you have the hindrances. Now, both of those, while some of the edges are really great because they help you in combat and stuff, these are actually all role-playing prompts is what they are. So this is a great example of how a hindrance is being used as a role-playing prompt.
He's actually knocked on 2 of my hindrances here because I also can't read.
Yes.
I offered to read it to you as a good friend.
Yeah, because that's not insulting. No, and I gotta say the way you offer it, it is heartfelt.
It's.
Sure.
I take the book and I act the way I think people act when they read, so I just kind of look back and forth at it. I'm like, this looks like a good read. Thank you. And I just sort of tuck it into my pants.
What's happening, Lee Kim? Okay, so what's going on here, fellas? What's the word?
Well, I had kind of some time to think while I was off wandering around the city, and
Where'd you go? You just ran off.
Yeah, and I do owe you guys an apology. You were talking about how these pirates were looking for the people you care about, and I realized that I hadn't really thought of. I know the Empress. I don't have to worry about them. They're pretty well cared for, and they've got a lot of friends. But I have someone that is very important to me. He helped me a lot as a kid, and I just had to make sure he wasn't going to get preyed on.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need help? I'm sorry, this is the first time I've heard about this.
Yeah, it's okay. He's just
all right.
I try and help him out when I can, and I went by to give him some help, and I figured I might have actually drawn a bit of a target on his back by leaving some money there for him. So
what did you do?
I hired some mercenaries to just keep watch. He wasn't there when I went back.
Wait a minute. You figured that by leaving him a gold coin, you were putting a target on his back. So instead of doing that, you left him a platoon of soldiers?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
safety in numbers. I agree with that.
I think they're going to find him either way. If they know where your family is, then they must know where I've never hid where I was going. They must know where I go. If they could find your sister at his bakery, and
in no way do I want any of your friends or family harmed. However, that doesn't exactly take the target off his back. I think you just sort of made a bigger deal out of it than you probably should have.
If they pick a fight, they know where I am. They'll come find us, and we can go take care of it.
Yeah, how many guys did you hire? It was half a dozen, right?
I think it was half a dozen,
yeah.
like six.
Yeah. 6 mercenaries.
It's pretty good. The point, Paul, I think instead of removing the target, I think Phoenix was trying to protect the target because I wouldn't know how to. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, trying to remove targets off our back, and I think that's a smart move, Phoenix.
I think we just need to act quickly because, I mean, it wasn't cheap.
Right. Okay, yes.
Okay, now, wait a minute. I have to ask you about that one, too, because I just gave you the book about the money. You gave him a gold coin, and then you spent a gold coin to protect that gold coin?
To protect the old man who he gave the gold coin
with the gold coin.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, he needs to.
And for all those out there listening, and anybody who's in the who's watching, who's unfamiliar with the monetary system of the land of Ur,
gold is a lot.
Gold is a lot. Average transactions take place in coppers, and coppers can be quartered even. Silver is the high volume currency. So gold and platinum, you usually don't do. Most people will live their lives with never having owned a gold coin.
Yeah. Okay. Gold is 4,000 copper.
There you go.
4,000 copper.
4,000 copper.
It has to be gold because you couldn't carry that many coppers on you.
Yep.
I never thought about that. I didn't really realize that was why they had those. Makes sense.
Phoenix, you make life interesting.
Thanks. I think
Mm.
Okay, so what are you guys going to do? You decided that you're going to go do some research, or
I think we haven't really decided what we're going to do. We know we need to communicate to Ari that we have an idea that there's some research we need to do. But
yes,
I love to read, but I usually do it as a way to relax. I'm not too sure I'm the studious type, and I kind of nod to Phoenix, like, back me up here. Like, I don't really read to. I'm not too sure how well I would do studying or, finding things out.
Yeah, no, I understand that far better than you might think.
Oh, thank you. So unless, Joplin, you want to hit the books, if Ari is working on the research, I think we can, divide our efforts and work on this brotherhood problem.
I think that's a good idea.
So, what do you think, Joplin?
I think we could take one of Phoenix's gold coins and probably just give it to him.
That's a good idea.
No, I'm not going to take your money.
No, it's not. That was a test.
That was a test. What kind of test is that?
Hey, buying them off, maybe not such a bad idea. I mean,
yeah. If anyone gave me a gold coin to not do something, I would just not do it.
Yeah, I mean, and you guys have hit essentially the monetary motherlode because the Arcanist is insanely rich. And they said that they were gonna give you a monthly stipend, and the monthly stipend that they quoted to Phoenix was 5 gold pieces a month.
20,000 copper a month. Hey, but we're not gonna talk about that. Well,
yeah.
If we had the money to pay them off, sure, but giving them just 1 gold, that's a lot of money. But what if they don't seem the type to be satisfied with any money value? I mean, I've read a few books, and this is going on the collection, but I think there was one called, like, if you give a shrew a biscuit, it's going to ask for some juice. And if you give the juice, it'll ask for, a croissant. I don't know how it goes. I forget. It's a long time ago.
That's Shel Silverstein, right?
I don't know who that one. I think that one was by Sheila Goldstein.
Gotcha. Yeah. The Giving Shrew.
Giving Shrub. Yes, absolutely.
The Giving Shrub. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
point being, we can't pay.
What do you suggest?
Well,
do you want to initiate a conversation with the Brotherhood?
Between you and me, I have some good ideas, and you have the gift of gab, and I think that plays to our strength, unless we want to play to our strengths, Phoenix, and solve things in an honorable duel. I've read some stories where people can settle these matters by duel of decision making. I don't know. Does that sound familiar to you?
I mean, I've been in some fights before, and they usually solve some problems.
Right. But honor bound, that fight will decide it. Do you think they'd go for that?
I mean, maybe. But who are they? They're going to take us and put us up against who? They're probably going to pick their best guys. I mean, do we really
but we're some best guys, aren't we?
If we knew who they were.
Well,
I mean, if we were confident we could.
If we can have them, if they could accept our challenge and push it off like 3 days, those Etkars, I do have some silver left over to see if they can find things out about our possible challenging opponents.
Yeah, we send a message. We send a couple of Ekitars in there to look around, see if there's some buzz about who we're going to be fighting, and we then if we're going to be fighting another one of those giant purple guys, then we don't fight.
But with my new armor, I'm going to hit my armor with your God looking out for you, and Phoenix, I think you'll be more prepared, especially if we hit the armory for you as well. I think we'll do a lot better, especially since we all actually have weapons this time. I think.
Brian,
what?
Are you saying let's fight?
I don't want a brawl. I don't want a slaughter like out there in the island, but I think honorable duel, an honorable trial by combat is a thing we can do.
Wow.
And so
I'm impressed. All right. Let's send the Ekitars out and just see who the Brotherhood has to throw at us if we want to go down this path.
That's step 2. Step 1 is getting them to agree that.
No. Don't do that first.
Oh. What do you...
Let's because we don't want to even bring that up if we find out they got a big purple guy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's purple on the inside, so we won't know.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm just saying, if it turns out to be something we can't handle, then I think the money is a great option. But let's find out first. So let's keep it on the lowdown.
What if we got the Ekitars to kind of float that we had proposed the idea? Just put a bug in someone's ear, see if they can pick up some talk. I mean, you think they do it for a gold coin?
That's a lot of.
I was joking this time.
Probably do it for less. Okay.
Maybe even a copper, I think, would be good.
Cool.
Copper goes a long way.
All right. Do our research. I think that's good. Let's go speak to some Ekitars. Hey, when you came in, Joplin, was the sun going down or going up?
But we were I guess it was going up.
Yeah, it was still early in the day.
It was my head.
Yeah,
it
was like
up.
midday last time.
Oh, was it? Okay,
yeah,
good.
it wasn't even midday by the time.
Right, yeah, we met at morning time.
Yeah,
that's right. All right, so.
Okay, so where are you fine gentlemen going? What's the first thing you're gonna go do?
Do you remember that last place, the fountain with the fish with the broken fin? I think we should start there.
All right. I think that was they named that meeting place when we met them last time. Didn't
Yeah. That's where. Does anybody remember the Ekitars that you ran into? And again,
yes,
I'll throw out there for all of those who might be new, or if you're first time listening to the podcasts, which should be all up soon this week. Did run into a snag last week. That's why they didn't get posted. But or if this is your first episode watching, what have you. The Ekitars are... it's kind of hard to... in Lysander, there's groups of children, like gangs of kids, okay? They're orphans. They're street urchins, street children. And back in the day, there was a guy that went by the name of Ekitar, and he was basically like a mythical. He got built up into this mythical figure of he's a Robin Hood, and he robbed from the rich and gave to the poor, and he was an actual person at one time, and then he just kind of like disappeared. But all the kids embody his teachings and his way of living, and he's sort of become almost like a demigod in his teachings and whatnot, which was, and so you have these groups, and they call themselves Ekitars after the guy who was this Robin Hood-esque thief. So that when they're talking about going and hiring some Ekitars, they're talking about going and hiring some of these street urchins who have their nose and their ears to the ground of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, Phoenix does have a tattoo, the symbol of Ekitar on his arm as well.
Yep.
I was never a street urchin, but
always wanted
looked
to be.
looked up to the.
You know what? I think I might actually have that image here.
Oh, the legs with the money, right?
Yeah. No, it's not in the handouts. There's the maps.
It's in. I think it's in the Discord, but it's way up the Discord.
All right. Well, then
we'll get that later.
Yeah, we'll get it later. It's no big deal. There's like a stick figure representation of Ekitar. It's like a guy with running legs and holding out his arms, and one's got 2 bags of money in him, I think is what it is. So, all right. So you guys are going to go to the fountain with the fish on it with the broken tail then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent.
we're looking for Rabia, right? That's what I
Rabia.
had. This was the underboss.
Yeah, she was an underboss. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the girl that you guys had dealt with that took you out to, because she's the one that you guys hired, and she found Syndra for you.
She did.
Yep. Okay.
At the fishing village.
Yep. Okay, so you guys are going out and you're walking through the streets, nice and crowded. People, I guess I should ask too: is everybody wearing their shirts now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No.
I am.
I do eventually want to go to the outfitters and see if I can get them to do something with my coat so I can display it, but I don't particularly know.
Always got to be a badass wearing your leather coat. It's like you just want to get one who's going to have like the Arcana symbol on the back.
Yeah.
Instead of a black leather coat, you're going to get a white leather coat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, cool.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm sure something like that could be arranged.
A nice long overcoat, and it's if I could get it fur lined. That's the one I have now. It's got like a nice like light fur lining.
Yeah, well, it's early summer, so that might be a little bit hot. You probably need a couple. You need a wardrobe of coats.
Oh,
you got your summer
detachable.
coat. Oh, there you go. All right, cool, excellent. Okay, so Brian and Joplin, though, you guys are wearing your tunics of the Arcana, so that you have your
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you guys notice now that when you walk through the streets, you do get a lot more attention paid to you. People watch you. Yes, people will actually move out of the way, give you clear the path for you, and there's lots of just those odd stares. Now, with your new armor, I take it you're going to wear the tunic will fit because it's got lacings on the side, so you can you could be like Ogre and get really fat, and then you can just like kind of let it out. But you're gonna wear that tunic over the top of your armor.
Over the armor, kind of like the Crusader.
Like a surcoat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, so you guys are walking through the streets, and you get to that section of town, which, remember, the fountain of the fish with the broken tail is it's relatively close to the Empress. And it's not the worst part of town, but it's on the border. It's on the border between the poorer dock section of town and the working class or the tradesmen's section of town. And the intersection where this fountain is pretty busy. Now, this is one of the fountains where a lot of people. Now, granted, while there's running water in Lycena itself, neighborhoods like this do not have it. So you are seeing a steady stream of people coming up to the fountain, and they're getting their water essentially, and that's what the main purpose of majority of the fountains throughout the city is, still from days when it was nothing more for providing drinking water for everybody. So what are you guys gonna do?
Did we see anyone around that looks like they might be
Notice rolls, please.
Here we are.
Mm-hmm. Give us some notice rolls. Let's see if you can see anything worth seeing.
Where's my notice? There it is. I think I'd be able to remember where it is on the sheet by now.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. You guys all see likely candidates. It's like, because that's one of the things about the Ekitars, they're kids, but they kind of blend in because of one of the facts that they're kids, and they blend in because they're keeping, that's their deal. They don't want to be stuck out. They want to sneak around and what have you. But Joplin, you notice a very familiar figure. Ulsa.
Brat.
Ulsa the Muscle. He's kind of, you notice in there's a couple of groups of kids. None of them, they're all the younger kids. So most of the kids that you're seeing are probably anywhere in the age range from about 4 to maybe 8, somewhere right around in there. But you notice an alleyway that's connecting to this central plaza where the fountain is at. And in the shade of the alleyway, with his arms crossed and leaning up against the wall, watching the kids and watching the traffic, is Ulsa. And you notice that he has several of these younger kids in the alleyway with him, kind of tucked in a little ways back. And as you notice him, also like turns around and he says something to one of the kids, and he like kind of points out into the traffic, and you see one of the kids go darting out into the crowd. Now, if you're going to continue to watch, basically what you're going to watch is this kid goes out and he starts begging. He starts panhandling this guy who looks like a tradesman of some sort, carrying some tools in a wooden box, something along these lines. But whatever his trade is, he must be well-to-do in the fact, because while he's got simple clothing on, it's well-made clothing. He doesn't have a lot of like patches sewn into elbows or anything along these lines. And so the kid's bugging him. He's like, hey, and he's like, get away from me, kid, so forth and so on. And as the kid does that, you notice that like a group of other kids start kind of like falling behind. And then next thing you know, the kid like drops his bowl that he's got for begging on the ground in front of this dude, and he like stops, and as he stops, and the kid's, oh, I'm sorry, and he goes and he bends up. The kid's kind of like, it's like they're like birds diving in to get pieces of food or something. They like run in and they go up and they like go around him and buzzing. It's almost, you don't even need to like see like going into any pockets or anything along these lines, and the guy doesn't even notice it happening. He kind of like, the kid gets the bowl, and then the tradesman kind of kicks the kid out of the way, and he goes, oh, I'm sorry, and he like backs away, and then that tradesman goes on his way, and as he goes on his way, then you see that group of kids that had been falling around and darted in and out. They all start like looking at some stuff, and they go running back over to Ulsa, who's in the alleyway there, and they hand off something to him, which is probably of some sort of value.
A good take there, Ulsa.
Okay, so you guys walk up to him? We got to roll.
Yeah, why not?
We got to roll for Ulsa. See what my man sees. Yeah, he notices you guys coming for sure. So as you guys start making your way over there, he looks at you guys, and he's like he's chewing on something, and he like spits, and you come up and you say, I remember you guys. How you doing?
Afternoon.
Yeah. Hey, where's the pretty one?
Reading books.
Oh, she's in the library today.
Oh.
That's the place with the words.
Still waiting for my kiss.
You're gonna be waiting a while.
Yeah, might have to learn how to read.
She's gonna be reading for a while. I can read. I know you guys didn't come down here to bust my balls. What do you want? Busy, I'm working. You're killing the vibe. And he goes and he looks at all the little kids around. All right, you rats, get out of here. Go see if you can make anything. No sense you guys standing around here with these adults. Go. And they all scatter.
We might have some more work for you. Paid work.
Well,
we pay well.
Is there any other kind? Of course it's going to be paid work. What do you need?
Okay.
You know the Brotherhood sailors. You know the ones that fight.
The ones that really hate you guys. Yeah,
those are the ones.
That's
You
getting
really
around.
do keep your ear to the ground, don't you, kid?
I tell you what, it's a good thing that you guys are Arcanus now. Which, hey, by the way, congratulations with that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's probably the only reason you guys are upright.
Probably. So, look, the best fighters in the Brotherhood. Can you get their names? Can you point them out to us? Get some information on them?
I guess, sure. Why not? I mean, that's easy.
Top 3.
Top 3? All right.
Yeah.
Well, Prince.
You say that's easy.
Prince Doru's going to be one of them.
All right.
We met him, right?
We met him. Yeah, we know him.
Prince
He
Doru's
doesn't
the guy.
like me.
That's the guy. He's the bald Shanish dude that you met on Castor Island that had the skull tattoo on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Prince.
He was the one with the oath, the blood oath.
Yeah, basically.
I was gonna.
He told you
I was
guys.
gonna do that skull tattoo, but I thought to myself, some point in my life, I'd like to have a conversation with someone else.
Right. Well, he's probably not anticipating living very long. He's kind of like one of those, live hard, burn out early sort of kind of attitudes. You know what I mean? But no, Prince Doru is the guy when you guys were going to get picked up by that Arcanus ship, because they thought they had you dead to rights, and then the Arcanus ship showed up, and he was like, "Fuck." But he told you, he's like, "You're all marked," and
I thought that was him.
That's Prince Doru. So that's the name the first name that also throws out, and he goes, "Yeah, man, I can get you that. That's not a problem." So like for something like that'd be easy. So like silver.
The silver.
A silver will do.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Wow, you guys are rolling in it now that you're working at the Arcanus, aren't you? Woo-hoo! Tell you what, I'll throw in another 7 for free. You see that? And he's looking right at you, Jop, and says, "I can count too."
We had no doubt of that when I looked down at his little hat full of change on the ground.
Yeah, so that's it. That's all you need. You just need the names of are you looking for guys on Zada Isle, or you just in general out of all the Azure Brotherhood? Because there's a lot of them,
The guys in the vicinity.
Yeah,
and the people who could be available tomorrow.
Well, actually, I'm going to take out a copper for your opinion. How about that?
Sure. Usually people don't even pay me for that. I give it for free.
Okay,
but
for opinion.
Yeah, man.
If you were marked by the Azure Brotherhood, how'd you become unmarked?
Well, he crosses his arms again, because you got to remember, Ulsa's a tough. He's like one of the street lieutenants. He's like, well, I'd get some of my boys together, and by that he means a group of kids.
Yeah, literally boys.
And yeah, and well, we'd wait for him to go someplace like, to the bathroom, and when they go in there, we just kind of like dogpile them.
The entire guild?
Well, no, I mean, not everybody's like you guys and gets an entire beef with an entire Azure Brotherhood. I mean,
so this is a little bit out of your experience then.
Well, I'm more of a one-on-one kind of guy. I take care of my business. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what we like about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, so does the Brotherhood do one-on-one?
What do you mean one-on-one?
Do they settle their disputes with combat one-on-one?
I never heard of it. I mean, they arrange that all the time in the arenas, and that is a thing. You can actually book an event in the arena.
I was going to say, this might turn into a cross-guild
trial by combat
battle royale,
sort of deal. That is done.
I wonder if we might get maybe you said you'd throw in a couple extra guys for free, right?
Yeah.
Can you let us know a few for that silver?
Yeah, I'll give you the top 10. I'll have it here in just a little bit.
All right.
As soon as the game master works up all those names, you'll have
Perfect. Thank you. Even if you just tell us their general looks and maybe even just pretend you gave them. But
that's great.
Idea. And
that's a good idea.
And then I'll turn to the other guys and be like, maybe we consider our top 10 at the in case this turns into a bigger brawl than we anticipated.
Do we want to get the Arcanus involved?
I don't think we're going to have a choice if it ends up in the arena.
I see.
And we could pull from our own. I don't know if you guys know any fighters.
No, unfortunately, I'm the only one who had thoughts of grandeur, such as that.
Well, if you guys are looking for fighters, I mean, besides all those weirdos you got working for you guys at the Arcanus, I mean, why don't you just go to the Iron League and...
Actually, you know what? I have a few on hold right now. Thank you.
Oh,
good idea also.
All right, man.
Cool.
Oh!
Phoenix, speaking, since we got the Ekitars around here, can I suggest that they might be better bodyguards for your friend? A little more clandestine, a little quieter.
You're right. And then I'm going to lean in real
Oh,
close
you want
to...
us to keep an eye on Zemrin for you?
See what you did now? He knows.
You already knew, right? When did you know?
Who, us?
Yeah.
Oh, we started keeping tabs on you guys since the first time we
See?
met.
I told you. I didn't blow the doors off of this thing. Everybody already knew.
Just, maybe keep tabs on your friend quietly so as not to attract attention.
Yeah, man.
If I keep tabs on him quietly, then when they kill him, I'll find out a day later.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's been... He came into a lot of money recently, and to tell you the truth, I think your friend's in trouble with somebody of some influence, because there's been these mercenaries, these mercs are hanging out around his house.
Yeah, no, that was me.
Oh, that was you? Oh, okay. Well, he's been going from one drinking hall and whorehouse to the next.
In fact, if you wanted to, maybe you can make a little bit more money by sharing the fact that it was me that paid them to be there with the Brotherhood. They might pay for that.
How's that going to help?
Well, that's
us?
one of the reasons we keep tabs on you guys anyway.
Well, they know. They obviously already know it's me. I'm just saying maybe the kid can make a little extra money off of sharing that intel. I'm just throwing him a bone.
Speaking of shared intel, has the Brotherhood asked you about us?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do they know we've paid you to do things before?
No, we've never given them that information. But there's one cat in particular, a guy named Askill. He's been paying a lot of good money to find out about you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the pretty boy, right?
Yep, that's the pretty boy.
Okay.
Would he be in the top 10 by any chance?
Oh, no. No, not that guy.
He paid
I
for the
could take
top 10.
Askill out. Are you kidding me? And he all makes a muscle.
I was kind of looking forward to kicking his ass.
You could probably
We might
take
still
him.
get a chance.
Yeah, he's a dandy. There's nothing to him. He's actually from Lycena, his family is a merchant family. Well, it used to be, fell on hard times, and next thing you know, he's working for the Brotherhood.
Did he lose his fortune?
Well, his family lost their fortune. He's a rich guy again, if that's what you're asking. He's got money. He's got Brotherhood money behind him, too, so that always helps. Brotherhood gets lots of money, and ships, and men. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be careful if I were you guys if you ever decide to leave the island.
Well, that's what we're definitely not going to do, but I think we should stick with our plan and just settle this as soon as possible before things escalate.
Sure.
It's a good idea.
All right, well, let me go talk to Rabia, and I'll get your list together, and I'll talk to you guys later, all right?
Where are we going to get this list? Here?
No,
You can bring it to us at the Arcanus.
Yeah, I'll make sure you guys get it. Don't worry.
All right.
And he goes running off. His bare feet slapping on the pavement stones.
Now, is there anything else we need to accomplish? Is there any dark alleys we need to go search for this Mazael guy, or should we take it easy for the evening until we get our intel?
Man, you could have asked also about that before you left.
Oh, well. Well, I did get this new sword. Phoenix, are you fine with using your fists still? I see you use your club quite often. Arcanus did have an armory. It's quite interesting.
Now, we haven't had this come up yet, and in all the story really leading up to this point, Phoenix, you've had no problem because you've basically everybody you've been going up against have either been no armored, which not a lot of people wear armor in general. Okay, and the armor that you would see, like the Azure Brotherhood guys, they either don't wear armor or it's like a version of like leather armor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Real actual mercenary types. There was the Arcanus soldiers that you saw, the guys that look like the conquistadors. And then there's the mercs that you hired. They were all armored up. But for the most part, most people generally don't. Now, if you were to get into a fight with somebody who was wearing armor, you'd have to either pick your locations where you're gonna punch them, making it more difficult, or have another option that maybe will help you with that. Just for example, those conquistador guys, you would have to pick an unarmored place to hit them.
Now, I had given some thought to trying to. I'm by no means an inventor, but I thought maybe the people at the Arcanist might be able to give me something that would let me punch things that I usually can't punch.
You know, there's probably a guy there that can help you.
I've considered also maybe adding some studs to this leather jacket to try and
go more punk.
Yeah, I'm thinking even if it's just
get
or
like
some
the
sort
dead
of
Kennedys
under
on the back
mesh
instead of the Arcanist.
Yeah, some sort of mesh inside of the leather, between the leather and the inside, just to give me some sort of a little bit more armor without adding a ton of weight.
Yeah. There's people in the Arcanist that can help you out with that.
Then maybe we go see the outfitters and get ready for the shitstorm that we just brought down on ourselves.
I think that'd be wise.
Yeah. And what were you guys going to actually do about your actual assignment? Was there any kind of... you guys are still dealing with the Brotherhood, I mean...
We sent that, what's his name? The little boy. Yeah, we sent him to go communicate that we were trying to find out Azael's role in Zaphrish's army.
Well, he was Zaphrish's soldier, we know that. But that's it. That's really all we know.
If she can find... We basically asked Ari via the little boy to go and see if she could find what he did for him. Like whether he was a general in his army or if he was a spy or if he was...
More specific information. More specific information about Azael is what's...
Yeah.
Okay.
And what he did the last time he arrived on this plane of existence.
Help us hound out what he might be on, where he might be going, or what he might be doing this time.
Right. Okay, yeah, for sure. All right, so that being the case, where are you guys going to go? What are you going to do?
I'd probably head back to try and get outfitted unless anyone else wants to...
I'll follow.
All right.
Okay.
Joplin, do you have any stops you need to make? Anything we can help you with?
Should I go start some trouble with the Brotherhood?
Not by yourself, of course not. We're a team, Joplin.
No, I mean, this is... It might sort of work out that way. You know, you would have a reason to start a negotiation if you had to come, I don't know, rescue me, buy me back.
I don't see how that would
that's awesome.
problem.
I think we have enough reason now to start a conversation. They're threatening your family.
That's sort of what I mean. What I mean is if we go in there just cold with them looking for us, you know, all of us, I don't think we're ever going to get a chance to say, hey, let's settle this in the arena.
I don't think we go in. I think we announce, if the Arcanists will let us, we announce that we would like to challenge them to a trial by combat.
All right. Then we'll do it that way. But I think that announcement then needs to be public.
I agree.
Can we get the town crier to do it?
Well,
I'm sure you could get him to do just about anything if you paid him enough.
There's now the Brotherhood doesn't have an official place here because the Brotherhood is in and to itself kind of illegal, But Lysena looks the other way because when the Brotherhood comes to town, they don't come to town flying colors. Is basically what it is. Their whole deal is they're not out in the open, so it keeps the Shanish Empire from coming down on Lysena and so forth and so on. But everywhere else around the Mavi Sea, if ships see Brotherhood ships, if it's like a warship, they're going to go after them. Okay, so you do know in Lysena there is Hakan, and Hakan. That remember you guys went and you met him at the warehouse when you hired them to take you to Castor. Before you killed more of their pirates.
He could end up in their top 10 list, I'm sure.
Oh, no.
First of all...
Hakan's that really big fat guy.
Those pirates died around us. I don't think we killed anybody.
Well, as far as the Brotherhood is concerned, you guys killed them.
You know what? We also should consider that they think we killed 30 pirates. They're not going to throw 3 They will throw whoever we find out is their big muscle. We're fighting them.
Well,
Yeah.
I know Joplin is going to be surprised, but I do agree. The bigger the foe, the greater the story.
But the point is that's where the Brotherhood are at. They're at that warehouse down in the docks. That's where anybody who's a Brotherhood that's in Lycena, they hang out in and around that place.
Warehouse by the docks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, at least we know where to find them if we do need to go directly to them. But I think at this point, if we do that, they're going to take the opportunity to just get it over with there when we're outnumbered.
That's
right.
what I worry about.
If you go in there, they might just off you too. That's the problem.
I think they would take one of us for leverage against the others, but that gives us a man on the inside.
On the
They're just
inside,
gonna lock
but
you up in a
bound.
dark room.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that matter to the god of fire?
I guess
The god of fire probably needs oxygen to burn. I think.
is that how fire works?
I think that's how fire works.
I thought it was just wood. You put wood on a fire. Why do you need oxygen?
I don't know. Alchemy.
This is-
Who knows?
No time for science. But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I think that's a bad idea, Joplin. I think we
I
should.
am full of bad ideas.
You cannot-
I think
you
Harold.
know
It's
what, though?
Joplin's
I've
fault
seen-
that all those pirates died.
I have seen Joplin go underground and come back out somewhere else. Could you do that from inside and get out of there once they put you away?
Not if the floor's wood.
Oh,
Hmm.
that's the rules. How does this? I don't know how this stuff works.
I'm actually a little fuzzy on it myself, but I'm pretty sure if I'm in a box, it doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
However,
You don't just pop in and pop out. That's too bad.
I have other tricks up my sleeve.
Well, if I mean, I'm not going to hold a man back from doing what he wants to do, but I think we'd be a lot better off in the arena where we have
The eye of the
accountability.
public.
Once they're not gonna sneak in and kill us once the public knows that that's what they want. Then these guys are all cloak and dagger. They're not gonna want to throw that all away just to kill three dumbasses like us.
Then let's pay the town crier to announce matters of dispute between initiates of the Arcanus and certain members of an unofficial guild. To be resolved in the arena.
I like that idea, but we should
Yeah.
get clearance from the Arcanus before we start making any bold claims and get our. Well, no, they need us, right? Could we just do this? We should ask. We should ask.
We look. I find it's better to apologize later than to ask permission first.
Brian, I'll leave it in your
I'm
hands.
going to ignore that last one there. I'm not too sure I agree with that, but I did read a book once. It was a story about a soldier who fought in the Colosseum. I forget what it's called, but he said something like, or his mentor said, if you win the crowd, you win your freedom. And I think that pertains to us at the moment. Look at that cat over there. It's pretty awesome. But
That cat's
See,
winning
she
the crowd.
wants me to give her attention, so I pick her up and I give her all kinds of attention. Then she leaves me alone.
so if we win the crowd, the eye of the public,
Now I won't have to worry about her.
I think you're right, Brian. I think we need the adoration of some people around the area, and once we become heroes of the ring, then
well, that might take more time. I'm not talking about even though I just said win the crowd, just their attention. Because like you said, they can't slit our throats if people are watching us.
they can, but it's gonna come right back on them.
I was going to say that's exactly what they do in the arenas. They slit throats in front of people.
Not if we slit theirs first.
I'm talking about in our beds.
I understand.
I think we
Let's
should
go burn the warehouse down. Let's just go burn the warehouse down. I think that's a better idea.
You know more about fire than me.
He knows a lot more about fire than me. I didn't even know it needed oxygen.
See, exactly.
To be frank with you, I don't really even know what oxygen is. But It's
gonna be an accelerant in more ways than one. Okay, so what are you guys doing? What are you doing?
If you want to burn it down, you can burn it down, but I still think we should fight them. They're not going to be gone just because the warehouse is burnt down.
Well, you don't want them to capture me and instigate a.
I got an idea.
Brian has an idea.
I'm going to flip this coin. Heads, because you're a smart guy, Joplin. You go burn it down and you run in by yourself. Tails, we all turn tails together and go to the arena. Does that sound good?
I
Let
like
the
it.
fates decide.
I'm going to flip that, if that's all right, GM.
Okay. So, what is what?
Well, I roll a D2, and I probably should have said that.
Yeah, you
before.
probably should have said
Let's call it in the air.
Oh, call it in the air. Okay. I'm going to reach down, pick up that coin. Side 1 is heads, side 2 is tails. Let me do that one more time.
Tails.
Same
Which is
result.
which?
Everybody
Tails.
Heads with
Tails.
Turn tails and let's stick together.
Run, and,
Yeah.
All right, we go to
Work
the
the
arena.
arena play.
Okay.
All right.
So you're going to the arena then?
Back to the Arcanus first, I think.
Okay, so you go to the Arcanus. And basically, what are you guys going to do with the Arcanus? Are we looking to get my man outfitted here?
I'm going to get some punching gloves.
Okay. So what
anyone else have anything they need to do?
what we're going to do is Brian is going to take you both down to where he met Dolgar. Okay.
Oh God, that guy.
So basically, you go because you know where the big dumbwaiter is, the elevator.
I do.
You go, it's there, and all of you can fit in it. It's that big. Okay. You pull the rope 3 times,
3 times.
and it starts lowering. A couple minutes go by. You open up the door, and the soft white light that's on the interior of that elevator dims out, and the harsh orange light of this scene out of hell opens up before you. Forges and blast furnaces and orange hot metal and kilns aflame and tons of different racks of weapons and things and armor, and these little small, thick, wide, dirty men, dark, gritty looking with their leather aprons and heavy boots and breeches only on, and they got those glowing yellow eyes. And another one comes over. It's just like before. Comes over, talks with you. This guy, they actually recognize you this time around, Brian. And they bring you in, and then a little bit on, it's Dolgar. Comes back up. He pulls out the little music box thing, winds it up, and starts whirling, and he puts it against his throat. And then when he talks, it translates for him into Shanish, so that you guys can understand what he's saying. And basically, what is it that you're looking for, Phoenix?
I guess I would explain to him. I want something that won't impede at all times, so I don't have something wrapped around my fist, but that I can quickly don and doff if I need to.
Okay.
Like little mittens, right?
Yeah, basically something I could put on that would allow me to punch someone with some armor. I'm not looking to be able to punch a pop can through somebody with armor,
Right.
with steel plate on.
So
but
what you get is he gets you some weighted gauntlets. And essentially they have there's a weight on the inside of the glove to give it extra weight for when. Has anybody taken a roll of quarters and put it in your hand and then punch somebody with it?
right, yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, never done that.
Why are you all saying yes? Have you?
It was a lighter, and I didn't punch anyone. But it was always like that when you're kids. It would be like, you got to have this just in case you get in a fight.
Yeah. Try it sometime. Just put a roll of quarters in your hand and then find a willing friend that'll let you suck him in the arm with it.
Or a guitar slide.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
basically,
nice.
It's
I
sort
love
of
those
like,
things.
It's sort of like brass knuckles built into an iron gauntlet. Okay, and there is like bumps upon where the knuckles would be as well. So these are meant for basically it turns your fist into like the head of a mace. Is essentially what these things will do. Okay, so he gets you those. As far as anything in the way of armor, the type of stuff that you were looking for, they don't deal with that pussy ass shit down here. If you want some good metal stuff, they'll hook you up. But aside from that, they're not gonna.
I gotta go to like a clothier somewhere.
Right, and you guys are. Let me state as well too. These are dwarves, okay, and you guys, when you first come out and you come into this place, you're totally like thrown aback because you didn't think that dwarves existed. And, and there's like a good dozen. Yeah, there's like a good dozen of these guys down here, and they're just working. Okay.
Phoenix. Yeah, I know you can't, impede your movements, but a good breastplate can protect you. Still leave your arms open.
Man, I like to be able to move.
That's not his style. Nah. So
I'll find the person. What do you call someone who makes leather goods? There's a name for that.
A tanner.
A tanner. If I can find a tanner here, and someone who could stitch some mail in between a lining and the leather, then maybe I can.
What you would need is you would need a more mundane armor is what you need. Mm-hmm. Not these super cool dwarves that work for the Arcanus in the bowels of the Citadel. Okay. Now, was Joplin gonna do anything?
Well, I don't know if this is possible, but Dolgar, I've got a cane that I've used in my performances for many years, and I'll show him my magic appearing cane.
Okay.
Is there any way to make this into a sword, or vice versa, where it just pops out?
So you show it to him. It's your like super quick extending, and you're looking essentially. You're looking. There it is. You're looking.
I haven't quite gotten the hang of
obviously.
The actual, but then,
basically, Dolgar tells you, "Don't waste my time."
There's got to be a tinkerer somewhere. I wouldn't give up hope. We'll find a tinkerer.
There's somebody that could do that, but Dolgar and those guys, they don't deal with that sort of stuff. Yes. Okay. So I will give the stats of basically what we got going on here. I did not give the stats to Brian for his armor from last time. Essentially, your armor is the same as plate in its protection, but it is the same as far as encumbrance wise and what have you as light armor.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay, and that's because that shit's dwarven made.
Oh, look at that! That's pretty end game, late game stuff right there.
Now your gauntlets there, Phoenix, essentially turns your fists. Like I said, it turns them into maces. So what you'll get is the same benefits with your fists as you would get if you were swinging and hitting somebody with a mace. Okay, so it's the die damage that you would get from the weapon, including your strength, and then that's your damage output from these things. And we
can talk about it after the episode, but we should is like don and doffing, like
just like a glove.
A minute. Oh, it's that simple?
Yeah, you could think of a hockey guys. If you wanted to take them off, you could just go shoom and just boom, they'd be on the ground.
I just wanted to make sure that non-lethal was still an option without having to call my shots. Okay.
Yeah, and if you wanted to go non-lethal with the damn things, what you would do is you'd hit with the side of your fist.
Right. Okay.
Instead of the.
Gotcha. So I'm not like.
Yeah.
Punching holes in guys' heads. Great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're still weighted, so it'll take some getting used to, but that's essentially what that is. Okay, so basically, after that, Dolgar and the boys kick you out again. So and then you're sent to go. Now that's see, this is one of the things when Brian takes you down there, you guys have no idea about this place even exists in the Citadel, and Brian found out from Mona. one of the servants that was there.
Night shift.
Yeah,
third shift.
The third shift servant.
Mm-hmm.
And so, so this is just one of the many secrets and different things that are here.
Are we exiting the dumbwaiter?
Yeah, so you guys go upstairs and you're leaving. Yeah.
I'm going to stop right quick. Just kind of look back. You know, I know 3 bells is how we get to, well, down there, but I wonder what 1 bell or 2 bells or how many levels do you think this place, how deep it goes? I'm just kind of look at the ground underneath my feet because in my assumption, we're ground level. I don't know how deep it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a different time we should just come back and see how many bells it takes.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah. We'll come back with Ari and just go exploring.
Well, we're not being hunted. How about that?
There you go. Okay, sure. So you've gotten that done, and basically, where are you guys going to go next? What is the next thing on your objective?
We need to wait for our information that we paid for to come back from the Ekitars.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then make an announcement that we're going to fight some guys in the gladiatorial ring.
Well, if we're going to ask for permission to do that, we should ask for permission to do that.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So basically, you're going to look to have an audience with somebody. You're gonna now
probably
Ogret is basically still your guys' main contact. I mean,
can he authorize something like this for us?
I don't know. You'll have to talk to him. So.
Oh, God damn it! Got to talk to Ogret.
Oh yes.
Let's talk to Ogret. Mm-hmm.
I think we should talk to Ogret.
Yeah.
Somebody get some snacks then.
Trust me, Ogret will have snacks with him.
I'll go pick up like a plate of like cakes from the just to as a like so we are prepared when we get there. Even though he's gonna have food, just to give him some more.
Okay.
Like
so
from the
like I said, there's always those servants that are there and on duty. I mean, they're there to help you guys, you know. So, but before we go any further with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a really quick break. So if you need to, go ahead and refresh your beverages, get your snackages on, go to the restroom, what have you, and we will be back momentarily. Pick up and see just how deep this hole can be dug. All
right. You heard it right from the DM, folks.
There you go. All right, we will be back momentarily, everybody. And again, thank you for coming and tuning in. And please stand by, and we will be back momentarily.
All right.
are back. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second half of Tales of a Savage Land. Dun dun dun. Now, when we last left off at the first half, the boys, without the guiding words of Ari to help.
Whatevs. You got this, man.
To help make sure that they didn't get in a lot of trouble, are trying to pick a fight with the Brotherhood. And so
we're trying to settle a fight.
Oh, yeah, sure.
In a squared circle.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you really want to sit back and take a look at what's going on, I mean, they've got a legitimate beef against you. It's like it seems anytime that as your Brotherhood guys hang out with you, they kind of end up dying.
A lot of that is purely circumstantial.
And it is. And you guys helped out Sindra Agrita, who basically, in their eyes, ripped them off. And then you went and you helped her. They were going to go and collect her and whatnot. And you came in, swooped in, took her away from them, and then went and locked her away somewhere in the Citadel of the Arcanus.
That's why we're not trying to run away from it. We know we're going to have to face this, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Straight up the middle.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Hey, Malinre, did you hear all that? There's been a little bit of banter in the chat about what you guys are doing, but don't pay any attention to that. It's entertaining to me. Okay, so what do you guys? Okay, you're done. You finished.
Looking for Ogret, I believe, was the next check on the list. We need to talk to him about a few things, I think.
Okay, so you're gonna go and talk to Nezzy. That's the guy who's the servant that's on shift right now.
Oh, yeah. But we're getting a tray of desserts, right? Because I'm going to come in munching.
Yeah, pistachio baklava last time. Yeah. Pistachio cashew baklava. Yeah.
He had a mix of nuts.
Mixed nuts baklava. Which sounds pretty good, actually.
I think we should go in eating this time.
Sure. So too. Okay, so you guys go. You ask Nezzy, hey, can you get Ogret for us? We would like to talk to him. And Nezzy goes, sure.
Oh, we're gonna go to him.
Could we get an audience with him?
Yeah, that's what Nezzy says. He's like, okay, I will get in contact with Ogret and let him know if you guys want to hang out. I will make sure to do that. And before he leaves, he pulls a cord. This station where these servants are at, it's next to one of the grand pillars that help support these massive antechambers that are all over the place. And there's a number of different these velvet ropes that hang from the ceiling. And he pulls one of them. He waits a couple of heartbeats. It's like you're about ready to say, well, you're going to go and get him. And another servant comes out from one of these because the walls have all these curtains and heavy velvet and tapestry type things, comes out, takes his place, and then Nezzy goes and disappears for a little bit. He's gone for roughly about 5 minutes, and then he pops back, and he says, it tells you that Ogret will see you guys in an hour. He's a little bit busy right now, but in an hour, he will see you in his chambers, matter of fact. And he says that that Nezzy says, I'll take you to him in an hour, just so long as you're here. So you guys just gonna kick it for an hour here, I take it, and just wait, because this is remember I said these are it's a great big oval room. It's kind of like a sitting room, a couch room. You've got a view of the city, and this is the one where all the hallways go off of to where your apartments are at. Okay.
It's the nucleus.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
A lot of science happening in this episode.
Welcome to Science Show.
Okay, so after an hour goes by, Nezzy says, okay, I'll take you to his quarters. And so he starts taking you down these halls. And again, it's pretty much the same thing. They're taking you down all these hallways. These hallways look the same. You're passing by all these doors. The doors look pretty much the same and what have you. And then eventually you guys come to outside of another one of these doors. And remember, the entire citadel is built essentially, for the most part, it's all built out of this white marble. And the doors are all painted white. and they have the brass straps on them and what have you. So he stops outside this door. He knocks on the door, and then the door just opens up, and there, in this room, in probably the biggest mountain of pillows you've seen, is Ogret sitting on top of him. He's got a serving girl on his left. He's got a serving girl on his right. There's tables with food and all kinds of different stuff all over the place. And he's in there. He's like peeling these like green spiky fruits. He's like, oh, hello. Come in, gentlemen. Yes, yes.
Truly the lap of luxury.
Yes. And he's got a real breathtaking view. He's got a balcony behind him, and out, and it looks over the city and what have you as well. So, oh, please, come in, sit down.
Oh,
yes, sit down on it. Yes, feel free to sit. Oh, what do you have?
we brought some cakes.
Oh, how delicious! What kind of cakes? And he actually kind of comes down off of his pillows, kind of rolls down a little bit and falls and what have you. Gets down there and, he comes up and he comes to look at it. Oh, what kind of cakes do you have? Oh, and he just walks up to your, because I take it what, Joplin, you got a little platter of cakes?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
A sampling of different flavors and
okay.
Pastry.
He comes up and he looks and he goes, "Oh, may I?"
Of course.
Yes. And he takes the one with the most frosting and honey and dripping in sugar or what have you. And he takes it. Oh yes.
So, Ogret, you know about our troubles with the Brotherhood.
Yes. Yes.
We have a wonderfully terrible idea of how to settle that, and we might require your permission.
Oh, this sounds interesting. Hold on a second. Let me get comfortable again. And he goes and he climbs up his mountain of pillows and gets to his seating area where he shimmies down into his pillows, and the cake is gone at that time. And he's he starts.
It wouldn't be so
fingers.
bad if I didn't have an imagination and I could actually see this in my head.
Well, I'm trying. Yes, I'm trying to paint it for you. So,
that's the purpose.
Oh, no, I get that.
He's licking his fingers a little bit. He goes, "Oh, yes, that's rude of me to do that." And he just holds his hands out, and then one of those serving girls. You can tell they've got a wash bowl and some different rags and stuff. She starts wiping his hands for him. So you have an idea for taking care of your problems with the brother? Now that you're part of the Arcanist, that into itself kind of takes care of your problems.
Well, our families are not safe from the interventions of the Brotherhood, so we really need to kind of...
Well, they could come live here.
With
Eventually, they'll have to leave these walls, Grandmaster, and
It's true. But these kinds of things, they tend to blow over. Once the Shannis Empire gets a burr up their backside and they decide to go out hunting the Azure Brotherhood again, well, that tends to take priority over a couple of upstarts from the Arcanist that kind of swindled them as far as they're concerned. Which we all know that didn't happen.
Exactly. But
we don't want to assume, Guildmaster, and I think we prefer to.
Oh, I'm no master. No, I'm no master. You can just call me Ogret. Yes.
Well,
thanks, Ogret. I think what the fellows are trying to say here is, if we could, of course, invite them to live here. It's very, very gracious of you. But we wonder if maybe they won't still be a reason to resolve it, perhaps head on.
Oh, I'm interested to hear what you have planned, though.
Well, we were thinking we could challenge them to trial by combat.
In the arena publicly.
Kind of Arcanist versus Brotherhood title fight,
No. If you wanted to do it personally, well, of course, we can't keep you from doing such a thing. I mean,
that's good to know.
There are promoters that help with those sort of things, I guess, if you were interested in that. But please keep in mind that you're a commodity to us as well as members. I mean, there's a reason that we wish you to be a part of the Arcanus, and we were quite open about that. And I mean, you are special individuals. It'd be terrible to see it wasted on the sands like that. I mean,
well, perhaps you might have a way of helping us smooth things over with them somehow. I mean, maybe just put the right.
I do think my sister would like to live here. I'm going to take you up on that.
Oh, very well. I mean, the Brotherhood, well, first and foremost, the pirates. So then there's only one thing that they're really looking for. And, well, that's money.
Money, yes.
Or things that can be liquidated into money. That's really all they're about, nothing more. I mean, that whole debacle with Syndra, the only thing they were concerned about is getting rare artifacts that maybe they could sell to the Guild of Antiquities or some other private collector and, make some coin from it. Something like that would be quite valuable, of course, but they're not really in it for the history or the arcane value of said items. So, I mean, maybe you could work out a payment plan?
I think I'd rather settle it in the arena than have a payment plan.
Well, I mean, like we said, we don't encourage such behavior, but we can't keep you from doing it. And of course, that would be, I mean, what type of offer are you planning to give to them? We'll just go into the sands and whoever's last man standing is right and you leave us alone? I don't think you're quite understanding the people you're dealing with.
But you would suggest paying them off until when?
Well, I mean, there are negotiators that can be sent to try and smooth over such things. If you wish, we can arrange to have a mediator sent over to them to see if we can't smooth things over. And, well, we could take it out of your stipend, and that could be put forth towards paying off of your debt to the Azure Brotherhood. Because, well, of course, it is your debt. I mean, granted, we are very happy that you're here, and we want you to be a part of the family. But well, I mean, we didn't tell you to kill all those pirates.
We didn't kill anyone.
Oh well, of course not. Yes. I mean, if you say you didn't kill them, we believe you didn't kill them. But that
debt is pretty much one-sided, and that's where we want to dispute it. Is there any place we can dispute that claim?
Not really. I mean, the only thing you're looking to dispute is you're looking to change the Azure Brotherhood's mind, not so much as dispute their claims to your heads.
Well,
that's true.
I guess mediators, and I'm look at Joplin.
I mean, wearing those 3 stars is probably the most protection that you can get. But of course, once you if and when, because it's just a matter of time, when you leave the island and are out doing things, well, then your own safety will be a little bit more into your own hands. I mean, I wouldn't put it past the Azure Brotherhood to try to kill some of our people. I'm sure they've tried to do it before, and I'm sure they probably have succeeded at one time or another.
That is why we do intend to not leave this so open-ended. We do want to tie these loose ends.
Well, very well. And we can send a mediator to them, and then we can see about what can't be arranged.
I'm going to look for, an approving nod from the other two.
I think that's the most... It'll at least start a conversation that will keep them from hurting anyone for the time being.
Yes.
And if the conversation stops, then we find another way to solve it.
Ogre, what if this was a social issue, a political issue?
Such as?
What if the pirates were no longer welcome in the city?
Oh, I don't think the city would like that at all. They do make quite a bit of money off of the Azure Brotherhood, you see. There's a reason they allow them to call this a port of what is that term? Port of call. Yes, that's. So
we can't call them out as pirates, brigands, making their living off of the backs of the hardworking men of Lycena.
No, it wouldn't be wise. You would really find no support in such an endeavor. Might even dig a deeper hole.
Right.
So to
Who's
speak.
in charge of the Brotherhood?
I do believe you met her.
Oh. Yep, Ilgi.
Oh, yes. Madame Ilgi. Yes. She's a terrible witch. Terrible. Absolutely.
She seemed pretty nice to me. I mean, she was
Yeah, she...
pretty considerate.
Why, thank you very much. We just got a follow from somebody. Let's see if I can... It's a... Hey, Vsauce. Here just... hey, Vsauce. Hey. Hey, Vsauce. Thank you. We appreciate you following us very much so. And hope you're enjoying the episode up to this point in time.
Thanks, Vsauce.
Yeah, I'm sure I butchered that incorrectly, but hey,
That's okay.
I apologize.
It's gotta somehow be a joke about Hey Vsauce, Michael.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a Vsauce joke.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
I don't
Don't
either.
worry about it. Michael Stevens. You Google him afterwards. There's tons.
I got you, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. So what were you saying to him there?
Well, with those negotiators dispatched, I think we only have one other thing to worry about now, because really our problems, gentlemen, was just those two things: as your Brotherhood, and also the assignment you've given us, Ogret, finding Azael.
Yes, how is that coming?
Well,
It's not.
Oh,
at the moment.
no, that's
We seem to be at a
terrible.
dead end. We seem to be at a loss, exactly.
Oh, really?
hoping for a lead.
What have you done so far?
We,
Sent somebody to talk to somebody to read about something.
Yes.
Well, that's extremely vague. I mean, who did you send where to talk to who about what?
well, we were trying to get some research. We're just trying to find out if we could
is that
find
why-
out what Azael.
Is that why R is
Does.
not here? Is she
Yeah.
doing some research?
That's right.
We hope.
Well, she seems like a bright girl. That seems like something that she'd be good at doing. But
Kind of her bag, yeah.
well, I think we've said it before, and I don't think you. I think the problem here is that you all don't really look at yourselves in the correct light. These things will come to you if you just go stick your nose out and about enough.
So just go out for a walk.
Possibly, yes. Maybe even ask a few people if you know anything about so-and-so
So
or this and that.
I think that's what led us to finding the Azure Brotherhood. They were at my bakery, Ogret.
Oh, yes. That's not good.
So,
Maybe you
the
should
Ogre-
reconsider your family coming here to live for a while.
We should do the arena thing. If you're saying that it will come to us, it will find us, then let's make ourselves famous.
quite the spectacle.
I mean, I like that. I like you guys.
There might be
Yeah.
some merit in that, but I don't think that going about making a spectacle of yourself at the expense of the Azure Brotherhood would be a wise decision.
Maybe we challenge.
I've got a great idea. How about this?
Bet you do.
Of course. Well, choose one of you to take on all challenges, and then it can be plastered about the and of course, well, you won't be fighting for the Arcanus, but people will know that you're a part of the Arcanus, and then we can see who crawls out of the woodwork to see it.
Well, I think that's what we originally planned, but we just wanted to be sure that would be okay with you, because since we are part of
Well,
the
if
Arcanus,
only one of you were to die on the sands, then we would still have 3 others that could help.
I'm just going to look at the boys.
I'm okay with that. I have a
I mean, you
feeling.
do
I mean, I
understand-
have some experience in these.
I mean, you do understand, for the type of splash that you're talking about making, of course, it would have to be an actual fight to death. And, yes, I would recommend that you go and find a promoter. They're very good at that.
Well,
Let's.
And I
go
can pass
start
on the information to the Grandmasters as far as why the hell you're doing what you're doing. Because, well,
and that's
they're gonna
thank you. That is why we're here.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yes, they're going to have questions, and of course they'll come to me first, and I'll have to have an answer for them. And I think
Wait, so are we dispatching negotiators? Are we?
Oh, of course, I will have to. Lily, honey. Oh,
I think the idea.
And he's talking to one of his servant girls. Do me a favor, and he like baby talks to her. And then it's like you guys don't even really understand what the hell he says. And then she like gets up and they're dressed in Dream a Genie type of like gospel.
I already imagined that. I already like.
Well, of course, man. And so she like gets up and gives him a little peck on his chubby cheek, and then she leaves out of a side door and what have you.
In Aladdin, in the very beginning, like hops. No, am I getting mixed up? Getting mixed up. Ignore that.
Okay, we'll ignore that. And for all those who are listening and watching the show, Ogret is what's Jasmine's dad's name in that movie?
I completely forgot it just now.
I think
every time you watch it now, you're just going to think Ogret.
Yeah.
Her Ogret looks like the dad of Princess Jasmine from that Disney movie. He's got the big bushy white beard and a big bushy white mustachio. He wears a turban. He's a chubby little guy. There you go. That's Ogret.
Now, so let me just recount what I think the plan is here. We broadcast that we're willing to fight. We're not necessarily calling out the Brotherhood. We're just saying we're going to take on all challengers in the ring. Perhaps rather than one of us, maybe two of us. Or
I do like that better if we fought together, but I think that's what Ogret is saying, Phoenix. He doesn't want all of us to die because they've invested so much.
Yes.
I mean 50-50. I mean,
well, let's put it this way. If you go in, let's put it this way. You go and you make a spectacle of yourself and see who comes out to watch. Let's say that person who went into the arena dies. Well, the other three of you are going to have to try and find out where this Azael person is still. I mean, it's still an agenda has to be done. I mean, if you're willing to do this to help your own men's out as well as us, by all means, we'll even front the purse.
Well, I think that's the whole point. We can't go finding Azael if we're being hounded by the Blue Brotherhood or the Azure Brotherhood. So,
the Azure Brotherhood's not going to bother you while you're here in Lysina.
All right.
Your family, I can't really speak for, but that's why I said that you could come and have them. You could have them come and stay here.
Well, I say for now, let's put out a call and APB. on the Azure Brotherhood.
I don't know what that is.
We're just going to put out an all points bulletin.
There you go.
So that everyone that we care about knows who to look out for. We tell them they are welcome here, and we find a promoter to promote that. I hazard a guess that I'll be fighting some people in the gladiatorial.
Wise decision.
ring.
I must agree, Phoenix. Wise decision.
All right. I think that's a good idea.
Oh, and he like goes over and he gets a scrap of paper off of one of his tables. Gets an outrageously plumed like pen. There's actual pens, like ink pens, but he's got like an inkwell and this big old plumed feathered pen, and he like dabs it and he writes something on a piece of paper and whatnot, and then please come get this.
I'll reach forward and take that from him.
Well, you'll climb up his pillow mountain is what you'll do.
We'll have to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to come down again. There was cakes before. Yeah, so that's why he came down the first time. So he said, this is for a promoter. Go see him, and he should be able to arrange things for you. Hey, chat. Right. We need a good name for a promoter. What's a name for a promoter? And the first person that says Don King gets booted.
It almost came out of my mouth.
Don't just pretend I didn't type anything. I know it's
Doug Bruce Manson.
Yeah. It's my favorite thing to do is just
hey man. Whatever makes your life happy, man. I'm good with that. Yeah.
Especially since none of them are ever even vaguely fantasy names. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite part about it.
Well, it doesn't.
Somebody out there.
It doesn't look like anybody in chat has any really good names. So let me come up with one. Let me come up with a.
Now, I might suggest also that while we're out there, I mean, in the types of fights I've been in, I haven't tended to run in these types of circles where you have the squire. But maybe we just for a little extra added benefit,
I like
take the target off your back. We say that I will be entering the arena with my squire, to be there to hand me my weapons and whatnot, and that way we can get one of you in there with me, so that I'm not just hanging out there in the wind if
the name
shit
of
goes down and a Zale shows up. We could even add to the promotion that I've been touched by a Celestian to try and draw that guy in too.
Yes, well, those are all things that you should discuss with your promoter. Rabaka is his name. Rabaka. Yes, speak with him. He should be able to help you all out.
Okay. Well, let's. It's still early enough that we could probably make it there today. Let's go find this guy.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. So, and there's an address that's on there as well, of course. And you guys know enough of the city that you know where this address is at. So you leave out. Now, remember, the Citadel of the Arcanus is located at the center of the city, where all the main really big buildings and what have you are at. This address is situated to the east of that, just into the next quarter, and this quarter is like, it's like the entertainment center. This is where you have the arena is. This is where you have the like the Circus Maximus. You have what was the thing that the circus, and you have like a number of different like the art galleries. All that different shit is all in this place, and this is where all the artists and musicians and all that sort of stuff, people who have made it in those groups. So this is where like the Madonnas, the who's the crazy rapper guy with the wife with the big butt.
Kanye West.
Yeah, the Kanye West lives there, and stuff like that. So, and essentially, you go through the streets now. Even here, as you guys are traveling around, and I'm assuming that Phoenix is still not wearing his tunic. Got to get that boy a leather jacket. Okay, so then you guys go and you come up to a mansion. Okay, and it's a walled mansion, and it's got an iron gate out front. Okay, and you check the number on the paper that he gave you, and no, this looks like it. 777 Red Wine Row, or whatever the hell the name of it is. And on the gate, there's a horn, and the horn is on a chain, and that chain is just hung over like a hook on the gate itself. Look at all you guys looking
grab
at
the horn and honk, 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 honk.
No, it's not one of those type of horns, sir. I know what you were thinking. You're like, ew, I'm not going to put my lips on a horn that somebody else has been blowing on.
I'm not going to put my lips on a horn.
Okay, so you guys are standing around at the gate.
It's like okay, I'll pick it up and just...
Okay, you do that. All right, and it's like almost like just a couple of heartbeats after you blow on the horn. Now, it's a walled, like basically about 10-foot tall wall. I mean, it's not really so much for like real defense as to just keep the common rabble
people out.
Yeah, exactly. So, or yourselves. And and there's a garden. There's a lush garden on the inside because you guys can see through the gate. And then there's this path that leads all the way straight up to these double, like dark green painted doors. And those doors open up. And this guy dressed in gold, like robes and a gold turban. He's a darker guy, so he's from. He might be from Dakar or whatever that other kingdom down south is. That I'd have to look in my book here in the notes. Oh, there it is right there. Bakash or Darkor. Darhawk. Yeah, I'll get my own names, my own world down someday. So so he comes. He's coming out now. He's really thin, and he's got sort of like a sachet. Think of like a RuPaul kind of guy. Okay, and he comes up to the gate and he like
badass.
Yeah, and he like throws because he's got like these trails. It's sort of like almost like a toga mixed with a dress sort of thing. And he throws one up over his shoulder and he goes, "And how can I help you?"
Well, we're from the Arcanus, and We need help throwing a big party.
Oh, you are from the Arcanus. I can see by your shirts, and you got the stars on you. Okay, hold on one moment. And he turns around, and he just walks back up into the place. And a couple heartbeats.
This is my type of guy.
Couple heartbeats go by, and then this is your typical button-up servant guy comes out. He's got kind of like the white coat on, looks kind of like a Nehru coat, white slippers, white pantaloon sort of things. Comes up, he's got a key with him. He unlocks the gate, opens it, and then he kind of bows and he goes, "You may go in."
Thank you.
Seems easy enough. We'll do that.
Okay, cool. So you guys go in. The doors are left open. Those two big doors are open at the front there. You go walking in, and inside there's palm trees and pots, and there's a great big fountain in there. There's a bunch of birds flying around inside, type of like parrots and songbirds and things along these lines. And that guy that you saw is sitting on a couch. And there's a couple of couches there, and he's got a goblet of wine with him. And then there's another guy that looks like a big old bruiser fighter type. And guys, go ahead and roll me some common knowledge.
Damn.
Common knowledge.
Ooh, Brian knows. And
I don't even know what I rolled.
You got a 4. You got a 4. You got a 4. You're kind of like, hey, that guy might be. I think I've maybe heard of sort of a, but Brian, this guy his name is Zelt.
All right.
And Zelt is, just think of Mike Tyson in his heyday. Except this guy's...
Oh, the fighter. The fighter's name's Zelt, the bruiser.
Yes.
Okay.
He's essentially he's a gladiator, and he's sitting there, and he's just kind of like playing with a kitten that he's got in his lap. And the guy in the gold, he's like, "Well, come in, sit down."
All right.
Thank you.
So what does the Arcanus want with me?
This is not, we should be clear, this is not strictly an Arcanus sanctioned visit. They know we're here, but...
well, that's a little bit of a sad thing, I must say.
Business.
Sad.
They did recommend you, though.
They did. They sent us to you specifically.
Mm-hmm. Did they now? Well, you, my son, look just like the type of men that I'm used to dealing with. And he points right at Phoenix. Well, don't just sit there. I mean, don't just stand there. Sit down.
I'll take a seat, of course.
Yeah, I'll take a seat.
Get comfortable.
Yes. So.
Well.
Yes.
Who wants to lead the charge on this one?
Yes, please do. I am a very busy man.
Well, Joplin, tell him about the party, I say.
Well, I don't know if we're in the right place, boys. I mean, we need someone very special to do our thing. I mean, we have to keep it quiet that we're from the Arcanus, but everybody needs to know what to expect.
Can I make a notice roll to see if I pick up on his gambit?
Well, hold on, because Rob Baca looks at you and goes, "Honey, you know exactly what you're trying to get into, and that's the whole reason you're here. Otherwise, you wouldn't be looking to come and talk with Rob Baca. I am the #1 promoter in all of Lysenna. This is known. It was probably Ogret who sent you to me, too, wasn't it? Ogret likes to come and watch the fights. We have private fights for a while. So,
well, true enough, Rabaka. We need your skills. We need to settle a debt with the Brotherhood.
Baca.
Baca.
There you go. You got it. So
we need to settle a debt with the Brotherhood, but we can't do it
with the Azure Brotherhood.
Yes.
Oh.
Not directly.
But indirectly. So we thought we would have a big event at the arena, taking all challengers.
And how exactly is this supposed to settle a debt with the Brotherhood? I'm not following.
Because if I give them a chance to kill me, they'll kill me.
Okay.
And get paid in the process. If they can defeat him, the Arcanus is willing to put up the purse.
Well, I guess if that's what you're looking to do, I mean, far be it for me. So let me get this straight. I'm allowed to say that you're from the Arcanus, but I'm not allowed to say that you're from the Arcanus?
Well, I'm from the Arcanus. That's perfectly fine.
It's not Arcanus sanctioned. That's obvious.
It's not an Arcanus sanctioned bout. They will put up the purse, but I believe they want that done under the radar. They're putting up the purse, but I don't think they're publicly putting up the purse.
And what kind of a purse are they looking to put up?
Now that's something
Ogret, actually.
Ogret will have to decide.
And it will certainly be enough to.
Who took the piece of paper from Ogret?
Oh, right.
That's me.
Yeah, that was you.
Okay. It says on the piece of paper. It says that the purse would be 50 gold.
That's a lot. That's 10 weeks. That's 5 months of our service here.
As you say this, I'm like, wait, do I get it if I win?
I think.
Well, the way this works,
I think you do, actually.
The way this works, son, is that if we were going to put up a come and take all, you would have 50 gold that you would be putting up. That would be your purse. And then the next thing that would happen is that any comer who thought that they could take you, well, they would match your purse, and then they would meet you in the sands.
Oh, they have to match the purse.
Yes. And then
how many fighters locally would even have the means to do that?
Oh, no.
I think that's where the promoters come in.
Yes, not many. I mean, there are some. Zelt could, I mean, because he's got my backing. But, there are, in the city itself, I mean, are you talking professional fighters? Well, professional fighters, there'll be maybe about a dozen that can get that kind of promotion behind them or backing. As far as private individuals, like if you're trying to pull out someone from the Brotherhood to give a shot at you, well, of course, the Brotherhood could come up with that kind of funds easy. I mean, the Brotherhood.
Can we do it quickly?
Yeah.
So that fighters from other towns and other places don't get wind of this and try to come and crash our party.
Well, this is how now we need to examine. Are you going to have a lottery? Because just having an open fight like that, you'll have tons of people wanting to come and take a shot at you. How do you choose? I mean, we could do a lottery. But then if there's somebody in particular, like if you're trying to lure in we could always just fix the lottery. How about that? We'll fix it. Does that sound good?
That sounds great, yeah. Specifically, if we get Prince Dormu, he really wants to kill
Oh, son. Oh, I hope he does it. Oh, would you really go on to the sands with a man like Prince Dormu?
I mean, I don't think I should.
I don't think you should either. I would think twice about sending my boy Zelt here against him. And Zelt, looks over at Rabaka and, gives him, a dirty look. And Rabaka looks, oh, stop. You know that Doruza is a vicious man. Come now.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you for the heads up. I would have just tried to find him.
And Rabaka.
Or maybe we should build up the excitement. How about that? We can always fix the lottery, and we'll get somebody that you could definitely beat. Well, I don't know. I've never seen you fight, son.
That seems pretty underhanded. We kind of
Well,
just
of course I'm a promoter.
done.
What do you think I do?
Well, we do have a list
This all doesn't
coming.
pay for itself.
We do have a list coming that will give us sort of the people they're likely to send to fight me. If it's a lottery, then they're going to submit as many as they can. If we could get the guy at the bottom of the list.
And then do it again. Oh, I like the way you're thinking. Maybe we get a couple of bouts out of it. Excellent. I like the way you think. Son, what's your name? I'm sorry, how rude of me. What are all your names?
Rabaka. I'm Joplin. Continue.
I'm Phoenix, and I put out my hand to.
Your name is Phoenix, and he goes over. He stands up, walks over, and he gives you a handshake. It's like, and look at you. You look the part. And the name, love the name, Phoenix. Oh, we could work in some kind of rising from the ashes sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, I was hoping.
Yeah.
This is. I have to consult with my compatriots here, but I was hoping that we could get some sort of, maybe include that we've had an encounter with the Beyond, with the Celestian. We're hoping to draw out a particular crowd.
Yeah, Rabaka. If there was,
wait a minute now. I've gotten everybody's name but yours, son. What's your name?
My name is Brian.
Brian. It's so nice to meet you. Now, what were you saying? It's about Celestians? You want to bring mythology into all this?
If there was a fighter from the Arcanus, would there be an interest from the crowd in seeing some real magic happen?
What do you mean by real magic?
The
only reason I ask is because, well, you're with the Arcanus, and, well, where the Arcanus is real sorcery, and, well...
is that sort of thing allowed? Is it looked for in the arena?
No! What are you kidding me? Of course not.
All right, never mind.
No. You're liable to scare away as many people as you would attract. But, if we were to say that, I've got it. Phoenix, rising from the ashes with his Celestian blood pumping through his veins. We can paint you blue, son. Paint you blue. Yes. Say that you're the last of the Celestian half-breeds. Oh, yes, that would work. That would be good. We could do that.
I mean, that seems likely to incense the person we're hoping will show up to challenge me. So.
Zelt kind of snorts at that. Yeah, all right.
I like that idea, especially the painting in blue part. I like that. Let's do that.
And
Brian?
And so then Zelt goes, oh, come on, man. You know that I was wanting to do something like that before.
I was waiting for
You
it.
said it was just way too, it's not something that should be done, you said. It's like, Zelt, honey, don't worry about this. These people are from the Arcanus, and with people knowing that they are from the Arcanus, it'd be a lot more believable. Zelt, honey, you're from the docks. Nobody gonna believe you're a half-breed, okay?
I really must say I admire your, is there a Spanish word for chutzpah?
Sure, it's called chutzpah.
Okay. I admire your chutzpah.
All right.
Excellent. All right. Well, we're going to have to get to work on this. I'll have to bring in the artists. We'll have to do some renderings, do some pictures, and different things like this for the promotion, of course. And then, of course, well, my cut is going to be 20%. Is that okay?
I thought 15 was industry standard.
Yeah, honey, I'm not the industry. I am the best in the industry. There's no standard here. This is the best. You want the best? You pay the best.
Oh, fine. Give him this 20% then.
Excellent. Then this is what we'll do. So
before we go too much further, I apologize.
Now, probably what I was thinking now.
Brian,
we're going to have to hold on a second now. It won't be paint because paint's going to come off. So how do you feel about being dyed blue for it? Would only last a couple of weeks, but it would wear off eventually.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Sure.
It's
Brian,
small price to pay.
you haven't said much. I'm curious. Do you think this is a good idea?
It's a lot of theatrics and a lot of underneath the table things going on here.
Well,
That's the good stuff.
Is. That's how this business operates, son.
Yeah, see, he knows what we're talking about.
I'm in my comfort zone, and I know Joplin's in his right now. But
Definitely.
So I will rely on
This
you
is-
two to take the head on this one, especially since if it's going to be you in the arena, you can make that decision. I
Yes.
suppose.
my life may be on the line, but I've never been one to shy away from that. But I do want to make sure that you don't walk yourself into something that you don't want to be a part of.
Why would he want to be a part of this? This is money. This is lots of money, son.
That's not his thing,
What?
to be honest with you.
Really?
It's heroics.
Takes all kinds, I guess. Well, now there's just one thing. See, well, son, I'm gonna have to see you fight. So, do you mind stripping down and I'm gonna bring in one of my fighters, and then you can show me what you got.
Why don't you just use Zelt there?
Oh no. No.
Oh, you're right. We don't want to hurt Zelt. That's so close to fight time, and he looks like he's comfortable.
Do these tactics normally work? That's. I just wonder. It's because
I see him snacking there. You know, I figure he's not really well trained at this point.
Come on!
I think you're about to fight Zelt.
Let me fight him. I can take him. I'll fight him. I won't even hurt him that much. Come on. Zelt, take your kitten and go. But no, and then Zelt kind of like just puts his head down and he starts mumbling to himself, and he gets up and he walks away with his kitten. Goes exit stage left.
That's a shame. Well,
yes, I'm not gonna gamble possibly a wild swing and have Zelt not be ready for his next performance. You kid?
All right, let's do this. Are we?
Oh yes,
collectively?
Yeah, and like he gets up, claps his hands, and then like a small army of servants come in, and they just start moving all the furniture away, and they clear a spot in the middle of the floor, and then looks around and goes, "Bring in Rod."
I start taking my coat off as they're moving the furniture out. And
I'll get
taking the gauntlets off
behind him and start giving him the back rub.
Okay.
Speaking the motivation,
and then in comes this really big Gulkin guy. He's stripped down to the waist. He's got tattoos all over him. He's got a long top knot. Scars. He's very similar to you in the fact that he has a lot of scars, small scars on his body from a life of fighting and what have you. And it's like, well, Phoenix, this is Rod. Rod's a Gulkin, mean fighter. So, y'all just get in the center there, and when I say go, try to knock the shit out of each other. Okay.
Gotcha.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let me get up the...
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Brian's standing up to the side, and I'm gonna look in my pack to see if I have any like bandages just to administer aid. This is over.
As a man who's traveled, I'm going to tell you this: the Gulkins work in the desert. They don't do well when they get really sweaty and moist. So
make them sweat.
Make them sweat. If you can last that long, you should be fine.
What do you mean last that long? Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Very dangerous. When they're dry and like a little ashy, they are ready to go, and you need to be
thank you for the vote of confidence.
But look, once they're all slicked up, they don't know what's going on. They lose a lot of power. Their punches just slide right off you. They get real sweaty knuckles.
Okay, well, you are just really helping right now.
Okay, so
fine. You're the greatest fighter
you guys are, and you're talking to him, and then Rabaka goes, "Okay, fight."
Fuck. Okay.
And so you've won an ish.
Okay, so let's start. I've got a D12 in fighting now, so plus and with a +2. So let's fucking and I can punch twice in one round. So let's see what
that.
Okay, not great. I'm going to use one of my bennies. I'm going to use a benny to roll that first fight.
Okay.
Oh! I rolled a 13 for the audience there.
Yeah, that's a hit. Let me get out the rule book so I can take a look at the damages and stuff like these.
Right, I guess I should roll damage then too, eh?
Yeah, you should. Because that's going to
I'm not wearing my gauntlets. I took those off before the fight.
I should hope so.
Yeah.
he's not wearing anything. It's just a bare knuckle thing.
Yeah, okay. So it's 8, 9, 10, 11.
You did 11? Okay.
11 damage.
It looks like you've...
If that hit. I'm assuming it hit.
Oh, it hit. And it looks like he's stunned.
Oh.
Already.
Yeah,
okay,
that was a hell of a hit. He had 13. So
I come in with a punch and I kind of follow through, and I want to, instead of throwing another punch, I want to like just sort of cock my elbow and knock him again. So like punch him, and then I just sort of bring that arm back and hit him with the elbow.
Yeah,
so
give him 1-2.
Gotcha.
A 12. Does that?
Hey.
That hits. Go ahead and roll some damage.
11.
Okay, so he actually ends up taking a wound because you got him not stunned, shaken. I'm sorry, I used the wrong terminology. He was shaken, and then you got him again. So you got him with a wound. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I can do. Except I'll stand back. I'll step back a little, like one step back while after I hit him.
Okay. Now I gotta see if my guy gets out of being shaken here. Let's see what happens. He's not shaken. Okay, so now he's gonna come at you. So here it goes, and it appears that he can attack twice too.
Oh, that fucker! No, that misses.
That misses. And that misses. Okay.
That misses.
Good.
Yeah, bob and weave. All
right.
Okay, let's see.
Work the body. Work the body.
So I'm gonna go in and try and sweep the legs. So that's a called
Wait,
shot.
wait. We have to. It's time for a new deal. You deal each time.
Right. I forgot. Yeah, this isn't deal.
Ah, you got it anyway. Okay.
Okay, so I want to sweep the legs, but I think that's a called shot, right?
Correct.
That would count.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the? Is that a -2? Is that what that is?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I rolled a 23.
Yeah,
the
for all
folks at
those
home.
listening, he just rolled a 23. Yeah, you hit. Oh, wow. Okay, so
Break the leg, Johnny.
that's an extra D6 in the damage department now. So go ahead and roll that damage.
Okay.
And your called shot is right on. So what were you going to do? You were just going to sweep him and have him fall?
I want to sweep the legs just to knock him prone.
Okay,
so
cool.
He can't, so he has to get up to attack me.
Okay.
That's
12 damage?
And you know what?
12.
So I'm not gonna attack the second time.
Okay.
If that doesn't completely knock, I'm assuming that doesn't completely.
No, because basically what's going to end up happening here is he'll be shaken again, but that's it.
Okay. So I'll step back and I'll be like, stay down.
That was real impressive. Real impressive. Okay, so he's going to try and swipe your leg from the ground.
Okay.
7. That's not going to do it.
No.
He swings at your knee. 7. That doesn't do it.
Although, wait, I took my. Oh wait, no, my armor isn't affected by my. I mean, my parry isn't affected by my armor. So yeah. That's okay. Because I did take my armor. So my toughness right now is actually it's usually a 9, but it'll be a 7 right now without the armor.
So those would be hits then.
No, that's if he does hit me. It only takes 7 damage to actually hit me.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Your toughness, not your parry. What's your parry?
Yeah.
Your parry is
my parry's 9.
Parry's 9. Okay, yeah, my bad. Okay, all right. So let's deal it again.
This time I'm gonna try and grapple him.
Okay.
So that's an athletics roll, right?
Oh, yeah, but he's got it this time. So he's going to kind of like launch himself up off of the ground at you. Let's see if he's able to do anything here.
Oh, right. Yeah, he can still.
Yep. Here comes he's launching himself up. Here comes a swing. Here comes a swing. Ooh, miss.
No, that's one short of my.
It's quite impressive.
Yep.
Parry of 9.
Yeah. Well, he's a brawler.
Yeah, it's the martial warrior stuff.
Yeah.
That,
he's in his element right here. Let's put it this way: Phoenix should mop the floor with this guy. I mean, this guy's competent. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, D10's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So that misses. Sorry, I'm going for the punch again, and then.
I don't know. His parry might be 7.
You know what I didn't do is. But I'm not going to retro it back because he's got a really good to get out of being shaken. So I didn't roll to see if he was unshaken again.
Oh right.
We'll just say he did.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
So the 7 doesn't hit.
No, it doesn't. It does not.
Oh.
And then
parry is also 9.
I'm not going to bother bennying that one. 10.
That is.
Okay, no extra damage though. So let's see what happens. No, it's just a 5. It's just 5.
Just 5.
So
yep.
No.
Against his toughness?
No, that doesn't do it. He's able to like you take a swing at him, he like blocks it. So okay, let's deal again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, is he gonna get lucky on you? Let's see. Oh, I did the wrong thing. My bad. Hold on a second. Yes, recall all. Okay, let's deal again here. Okay. Got to remember to hit the right. There we go. All right. He got it again, so he's coming at you. Here he comes. Here he comes. Ah.
No.
Ah.
No.
He's whiff.
A 3 and a 2.
He's a wild.
Yeah.
He's wild in his swings. So just swinging. He's
I got him angry.
Yes, you did get him angry.
So I'm gonna this time I'm gonna try and go for the grapple. What I'm doing is I'm gonna actually, you know what I'll do? The grapple. I'm just gonna try and put my shoulder into his stomach and take him down to the ground.
Okay, cool.
Athletics roll.
Yes, it'll be opposed.
Oh,
I don't know. Hold on. Let's see what happens with him. And with athletics, it goes off of whatever your strength is, right?
Yeah.
Your athletics is based on your strength. Yeah.
There's a real easy way of doing bad guys.
Athletics is agility unless he has a thing, but he's a brawler. So if you want to say he's got the brawler, like his stuff goes off the strength. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, he gets out of the way.
Okay. And then because that counts as an action, I can't just take another action with the fighting. So.
Yep. It's all right. Time to redeal. It's about time I start. You guys need to fight some named people, and I have a feeling that Phoenix is going to fight some named people very soon.
I'm really hoping we all.
This guy's a wild card, ain't he?
No, not the guy he's fighting. This guy's not a wild card.
I thought non-wild cards only take 1 wound. Do they not take? Do they take multiple?
This guy can.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, this guy's not
That's
rabble. Cool. What you're thinking of is just basically like the common rabble, like just those. Yes, this guy is a trained brawler like him, so he's a little bit tougher than that. So, but
he's not a wild card yet.
But he doesn't have bennies or anything along those lines. So
got it.
Those the named guys will have bennies and all that other different jazz too.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so he's
gonna come at you.
He's bound to hit me eventually, right?
Who knows? There's a couple of whiffs.
I've been
whiff.
fucking lucky.
Yeah.
There's 20% chance that he'll hit you.
Okay.
This time it's just gonna be. I'm gonna try and literally just an open-handed palm, not even a close fist, just an open-handed palm to the face to try and crack the guy's jaw.
All right. Oh yeah, you hit.
Ooh.
Okay. And damage.
He shakes it off.
Okay.
You hit him.
Tough.
He kind of, as you come in with it, he sees it coming at the last second, and he brings his head down, so you're hitting his skull instead of any of the stuff in his face that's going to totally shake him. So,
well, that would have been 9 though. That's still that would have been 9 with the bonus damage though. Would that still not hit him?
No, he would be shaken again.
Okay.
Now remind me to unshake him this time, guys.
Yes, I will. I promise.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go in for my second swing. Oh!
Wow!
Yeah, you hit him good, and you're gonna get that extra damage. He just rolled a 28. Good night, nurse. Okay.
That was that ace twice.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
wow, you're right.
And then a 2 plus 2, but
Yes.
plus 2 for my martial warrior.
Ouch. Okay.
Feat.
So roll that damage.
Gonna do a lot of damage, man. Oh, awesome.
And then 24 damage.
And just like that,
You kill this guy.
you just go, wha bam! And you lift him up off of his feet. He flies backwards and slams like a big slab of beef.
Oh.
Bam! And he's out. Out.
Wow.
And as soon as he hits the ground, it's dead quiet in there because there was people all those servants that came and cleared the room were still there and they were watching. And there are, it's the kind of as you could think, there's jeers and different things, people hooting and what have you. That hit, and then you lay him out, and it just goes dead quiet. And then all you hear is Rabaka go, "Oh my goodness, yes, sirree, I think we can work a little bit with you."
Thanks.
Get Rod, clean him up off the floor. Go make sure he's not dead. He looks like he's breathing.
Joplin, you were right. That guy was slippery as hell once he got.
I told you, once they get slick, they just.
I don't know if it was just the heat today or his nerves. I don't know if I maybe.
Phoenix, are you all right? I saw you take a couple of hits.
No, it kind of just slid off me. That guy wasn't much of it. He kind of just whiffed them all. Don't worry about it.
Wow, it's quite impressive stuff.
Yes.
I'm much better like this than I am with the types of guys we've been fighting before with their swords and stuff like that. That's not usually my thing. I mean, I carry a stick around just in case, but I'm getting better at kind of just...
Yeah, this is 100% Phoenix's wheelhouse. This is his whole deal. This is what he does for, this is what he did when he was working at the Phoenix. Besides playing music, he was beating ass on anybody who got out of line.
At the Empress, right?
At the Empress,
absolutely.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So then Rabaka sits down on one of the couches again and goes, all right. Well, it's going to take me a little bit to get everything ready. So why don't you all come back around here again tomorrow around the noonish time, and we'll get everything rolling.
That sounds good, Rabaka.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was got my blood up. That was impressive. I think you could have like knocked out a bull with that punch, son.
Probably wise to have kept your champion out of the fight with this one.
I must agree. Yes. Well, Zelt's more of an armed combatant. Not a real fisticuffs kind of individual. He's more fighting with swords and things along those lines.
We got Brian. Brian's our resident.
This is true.
Would you like to get into the arenas and win then too, son? I mean, I could arrange something for you as well.
It seems that we're aiming for just one of us. That is the wish of the Arcanus. And
No,
I think if this has shown anything, I think Phoenix, you're definitely the one for it.
Oh,
is it common practice to have some sort of squire in the ring?
The problem with that idea is if
you
I
know
would
for
be
a
there
fact
physically,
it's not common practice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There might be some theatrics to things that they do, but it's not common practice to have like somebody else in there to assist.
Mm.
Well, we're in the grand scheme of things. If say someone were to fly down from the sky and attack me in the middle of the ring, would it be uncommon for them to be sitting ringside so that I could have a little bit of backup?
Well, I will say it'd be extremely uncommon for somebody to fly out of the sky to come down and attack you. If that happens, son, just think of the extra money we would make off of that.
That's what we're hoping for.
Phoenix, one way or another, I'll be there. Trust me on that.
Thank you, Brian. I do all right with these types of guys, but if that guy comes down, I mean, you saw how I reacted the first time. Me and Joplin were both. We didn't react like you did. That's all I can say. I may be able to fight guys like this. I can fight 100 of them back to back. I mean, I
Good
probably
thing we
wouldn't
stick
survive.
together.
But,
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I've got things to do. And Rabaka pops up and goes rushing out of the room.
We can
I
leave.
really like this Rupala guy. Rabaka. Sorry, Rabaka.
Rabaka. Yeah. Yeah, he's really tall, lean muscles and what have you. And you, Phoenix, you notice too, like in his movements and whatnot, they're graceful like a fighter's. Just something you pick up on.
Those eyebrows, though.
Yes, he does have eyebrows.
Phoenix, so he was like, oh.
Nah, I'm excited. This is my favorite character so far. Like straight up, I'm like, if this is like a badass RuPaul that just walked into our game, I'm about it. I'll tell you that right now.
About it.
About it. He's all about it.
They're making fun of you, man.
I'm Canadian. I'm used to it.
I'm not about it at all. Excellent. All right. So what I take it then you guys head on back and go back to the Arcanus, or what are you doing after this point in time?
The Arcanus, I believe. I believe the Ekitars are overdue.
Matter of fact, as you guys are leaving, and you're making your way and you're walking back to the Citadel of the Arcanus, there's a kid that comes running up, got a piece of paper, and he comes up and he shoves it into Joplin's hand. Here you go.
Excellent.
And then he goes running off. And there's a list. There's a list of 10 individuals on there.
Hmm.
Now,
we can go into that later.
is just number one. Would it be Prince Dormu?
It'd be interesting if it wasn't.
Prince Doru is number one.
Okay, that's all I need to know about the list right now.
Is Ilgi number two?
Is who number two?
Ilgi.
Ilgi? No, Ilgi is not number two. Although you do see on there, you do see the name Zelt on there, down towards the bottom.
Oh shit!
So Zelt's not only is he down towards the bottom, he's not the bottom, but also he's with the Azure Brotherhood.
Not necessarily. These are guys, remember, you said you wanted to know about individuals that could be hired as well as people that were
true enough.
They might.
He would fight for coin.
Yes, he's a gladiator for hire. He is a fighter from promoter. He has a promoter, so basically that's what they do with him. They book fights with him. So, you know.
Now, gentlemen,
there's a couple other gladiator names on there as well, not just Zelts.
There was a day when I was a less reputable sort, where we would
yesterday,
a few days ago.
Okay,
but there was a time when we could fix fights like this. You know, one by one, work our way down the list, give each of them some incentive to either not participate or to lose.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely possible. I mean,
how confident
a lot of these guys.
Phoenix, do you think we need to do all this greasy work, or do you think you can hold your own out there?
If you want my honest opinion, I mean, every time I walk into the ring, I look at it as a 50-50.
So if we can
win or you don't.
So if we could eliminate 50% of this list as a threat to you, that would be, you'd be in good shape.
I'd say look at it this way. If you can eliminate the biggest threats, then the 50-50 maybe becomes 75-25 in my favor.
Don't forget what the number one reason for you guys doing this is.
Yeah.
And then everybody's
he
like,
still needs to win either way.
What is that reason again? You're trying to.
We have two reasons.
Yes,
one,
there's the brother.
It hasn't changed.
There is the brotherhood thing, but the other thing is you're trying to draw out.
Yeah.
And that's what you
fingers crossed.
That's what you're selling to the Arcanus.
Yeah.
You know, that's what Ogret's going to the Grandmasters and saying, hey, they got this idea, and they're going to see if they can't some kind of way draw this Azael guy out of hiding by claiming to have some sort of Celestian heritage of some sort and trying to pick a fight for all comers sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
I think we should discuss with Ari the potential of maybe her being able to influence the fight from somewhere in the back, but I don't know that we want to go into bribing any pirates. I mean, they're just going to bribe them more when they go back. They're going to take the offer back. But if there's any of these prize fighters who might be willing to fight for coin, maybe we offer them that will match whatever they are, or at least ask them to give us the option to match what the Azure Brotherhood would pay to not fight.
Phoenix, you're overthinking it, in my opinion. Imagine just taking one of the fighters on that list. We take him out for a few drinks. We take him over to the Empress. We get him a girl that lasts all night long. The next day, he's in no condition to put up a good fight against you. That's how we get these guys.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like breaking their legs. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
We got to be a little more quiet than that. You know.
It's possible.
It's a lot of work, Joplin, a lot of thinking, a lot of moving parts.
We throw a little bitter berry into somebody's tea. Next thing you know, he's sick that day. He doesn't put up a good fight. You know, see, this is the kind of thing we can do.
Us three?
That's a good point. That's a lot of moving parts for
a lot of moving parts.
But you
four
only
people
need
to pull off.
5 of them to go down.
That's true.
Well, don't forget too that he's going to fix the lottery.
Yeah, we don't need to fight the worst ones. We just need to make sure only.
And you don't even know who's.
Easiest ones.
You guys don't know who's going to throw their hat in the ring yet, even.
No, we just have an idea that these ones are likely to come out if the Brotherhood wants to take a shot at me.
Yes.
We just got to make sure that the worst one don't get through, and the easiest one for me to kick his ass shows up in the ring, so I can give him what for.
Well, let's put it this way: say Prince Doru does decide to come to town to take a shot at you. He's not going to be the one that gets picked in the lottery.
Yeah.
I mean,
until
Rabaka pretty much assured you of that.
I don't think Rabaka wants to go up against the Arcanus, and when they've put up the
Rabaka's
the
a promoter. He's gonna do what he needs to do to promote the best fight and make the most money.
So you will end up fighting Dormu.
Well,
I don't think so. I think once the audience is there, they don't care who I fight.
When Tyson was coming up, did Tyson fight a bunch of really good named guys, or did he fight a bunch of has-been boxers when he first started his career?
I do not know.
He fought a bunch of has-been boxers to start off. They had names connected to themselves because they used to be somebody, and he just happened to knock them out in like seconds each time. So when he started fighting real boxers, things had already changed by then. That's when we started chewing people's ears off at that point.
Ideally, I'd like to retire from this type of fight after this. I don't particularly want to do any. I've done these in the past, and they usually end in someone losing an eye or.
So do we want to you want to lay the hook over at the Brotherhood that if anybody's looking for you, they'll find you in the arena soon enough?
I mean, we could send the Ekitars, get a little bit of put a bug in their ear, and they'll see the posters, and then they'll hear the criers.
That's kind of what you get a guy like Rabaka in for. He doesn't just
I think they'll hear about it.
He's your hype man. He's the one that makes sure that it becomes what it becomes.
Yep. We're giving Rabaka 20% already.
He's not gonna and he's not gonna just make money off of the 20%. He's gonna get paid a part of the door for bringing it in, all kinds of good shit. So
and now I just have to not die.
He's also going to take bribes to put people in that lottery that we don't want to be in that lottery.
That's very possible, yes.
That's true.
Well, as long as we can trust this Rabaka.
I think we came to the conclusion we can't really trust him.
Ogre did
least
recommend
that
him. I mean, you got that.
We know that he's got a relationship with the Arcanus and isn't going to want to double cross them once they're putting up the purse for this fight. It's some money that he doesn't have to invest. This is just another day at work for him.
Exactly.
He's not going to take a big leap to try and. I mean, unless the Azure Brotherhood comes in with a real sweet offer, but they don't want us dead that bad. Yeah. They just want us dead.
Are you sure?
We don't pose a threat.
I'm just going to throw something out. This is a really big opportunity for you guys to maybe throw a fight down the road and allow, I don't know, the Azure Brotherhood to make a lot of money off of it. But with that being said, hey, guess what? It's time to go.
That's absolutely corrupt.
I know.
What's wrong with boxing?
So far, a lot of this is.
Yeah, so far we've been taking a lot of corrupt.
Everyone, I want to say, first off, thank you very much for tuning in to the 12th episode of Tales of a Savage Land. We had all the boys tonight. Ari wasn't here for this evening.
Lads.
And thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time, please make sure to go down below. There is a link down there, and you can click in and go to the Wicked Studios LLC's Discord channel. You can join on there. You can tell us about how we did something you liked, how we did something you did not like, and if you have any suggestions or anything along these lines. So get in there, and you can join into all those chats. So let's go ahead and we're going to say our goodbyes. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with Uncle Tony this time around. Go ahead, man.
Hey, everybody, it's Uncle Tony or Stupid Tony, or go to youtube.com/Uncle Tony.
That's true. You got good stuff all over there.
Custom URL.
Yeah, look at that.
Custom URL. In fact, let me throw it in the chat.
Yeah, color me jealous. Sure, why not? All right, Brian, go ahead, man.
Hello, my name's well, I play the character Brian. My name's Jonathan. And yep. And I play here every Wednesday night. So
excellent. Last but not least, we have. See, I get used to that. I'm in game, and when I'm in game, I only call you guys by your characters' names.
And that's a good habit. It's a good habit.
Yeah. That's not true at all.
No, that's true. I do mess up and call somebody the wrong names.
Call me Cody.
I do. It does happen.
Or Phoenix.
Yeah, it does happen. Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, to be fair, you don't have your name up as Joplin. I think that would help in our
true.
The application.
Behind the scenes chat.
That's true. The behind the scenes thing, it says Uncle Tony.
Uncle Tony.
There it is. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. Because it gets me off the hook.
How do I change that? Rename.
Yep. Later. We'll do it.
All right. And so go ahead there, Dylan.
All right. I'm Dylan. Dylan Trahan. Find me on Twitter, all the other places, YouTube. I made a new video this week. It's a bad After Effects tutorial. I removed Ethan Klein's eyebrows from H3H3, and it looks about as much like a person without eyebrows as you would expect it.
Who is Ethan Klein?
He's a YouTuber.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
He's well known for having a bit of a tick with his eyebrows.
Yeah, he's one of those famous YouTubers, sort of like Uncle Tony.
Yeah,
like Uncle Tony.
Me and my 260
There
subscribers.
you go. Oh, look out.
I'm not entirely proud of that.
Take it over the world. One subscriber at a time.
Honestly, I think you gained subscribers during tonight's show because I went over and took a look before the show.
My phone's been blowing up a little bit.
There you go. That's what it is. Everybody, I am the Game Master for this evening. I'm Will DM. You can find me on Twitter, Will DM at Giant Stomp. You can also find us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page for as well as Wicked Studios, but there's one there for Tales for a Savage Land. And the other game that we run here on Wicked Studios currently, which is right now we're doing Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which is on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, same time here as every Wednesday. We have Tales of Savage Land, which is at 9 p.m. Eastern Time as well. So if you ever want to contribute or whatnot, when you come in, which we didn't say, you can always feel free to donate bits. Every time they come to 1,000 bits, these guys will get a persistent Benny, which is something they can spend later. Or if you want to, there's always shirts available down below. Or if you just want to throw money at people, I mean, we will encourage that. There's a donate button down there. So, but yeah. So again, thank you everyone for coming and tuning into this episode. We hope to see you back again. And if you have anybody out there that is either a fan of role playing, or B, they are a fan of Savage Lands, they can tune in and watch us get the rules wrong, or at least watch me get the rules wrong. So that being said, that's it. So again, thank you very much, and peace out. And this is where we transition.